Hello everyone, welcome back to Unapologetic Voices. My name is Thomas Tripp. Join with me as my co-host,
Kyle-Elio Torres.
Yeah, welcome. This is our very first, technically speaking, video podcast. We have tried this before. There's going to be a behind the scenes and perhaps a future release date for the first one.
Yeah, the first one had really good stories, and I'm very upset about the audio being really messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I almost said the F word, but I had to cut it back real quick.
Yeah?
Yeah, but...
Are we at 15 seconds?
No, I don't even know. But, that one, we're planning on releasing this one first before we release that one, but that one's stories are so good.
They're solid.
They're, like... What did we cover? We covered my mom breaking into Cuba. We covered your mom. Yeah, we covered sleepwalking and your mom abandoning you or some shit.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Fuck, what else did I say?
I don't remember.
Oh, well.
It's been over 15 seconds at this point.
Yeah, no, we're good.
Fuck you, bitch.
Yeah. But just so it be known, that one's going to be a really good episode. It'll just have some audio problems. So every once in a while, like, I kid you not,
yeah.
I think when you were saying, hey, I have a story, Kyle. And I was like, oh, what's up? He's like, back when I was young, I used to... And that was crazy.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and then I'm like, I wonder... Like, when I was listening to it, I was like, I wonder what he said. And then, like, as you're telling the story, later on, you're like, yeah, and I was sleepwalking. I was like, so he said sleepwalking there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So that sucks that it cuts out, like, specific words.
It just randomly... And it happened to you a lot for some reason. Like, it would pick up on my voice. Mm-hmm. So I think what was happening was the application that I had thought you were background noise and thought I was the main volume.
That's racist.
Sure.
Yeah.
But it kept picking up on me, and then it would cut you out. Mm. And then randomly, when you would talk and I would say something, it would cut me out too. Just randomly.
Yeah. Not to mention it catches your breathing all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like... You get used to it, though.
Yeah.
From what I hear from our listeners and their comments, get in the comments, they don't, like, it's something they get used to within a matter of seconds.
Yeah.
Because it's just a constant in the video of, like...
Just so it be known, I have been made fun of for this.
Why are you leaning so close to the camera?
I had to lean in.
Look at the light on your forehead.
Ooh.
Sleek.
But yeah, no, some of the I don't want to call them fans, but listeners, right?
Yeah, listeners.
Some of the listeners,
they don't like us.
Yeah.
We hold them at gunpoint.
Yeah, we're holding them at gunpoint.
Yeah.
Some of the listeners have let me know that they hate my breathing.
Yeah.
They were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
I mean, you sound like a constipated Darth Vader.
Yeah. Like, do you just not know how to breathe? Just so it be known, I was born with only one lung. So if I don't pay attention to my breathing, I breathe extremely hard and heavy, just on autopilot. And sometimes it sounds like I'm angry too, because like I'll just be breathing and I'll be doing work or I'll be doing something.
Yeah.
I'll be playing games and like I remember like I was playing a video game that had an open mic.
Okay.
I think it was Lethal Company and I was playing with strangers.
Sure, yeah.
And they were just like, dude, is there a problem?
Yeah,
what's wrong with you? Why are you breathing so heavy? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm not breathing heavy. I'm breathing normal.
You should have told them you were on a machine.
Yeah, I was like, I'm dying.
I'm dying.
But yeah. So, you know, all that's a side note. We'll chalk that up as whatever. Mm-hmm. But there's a couple stories that I specifically wanted to tell this time around. I know Thomas has some stories. This time around for the podcast / video, it is going to be tailored to what pisses us off.
What a great topic.
Yes.
I'm so filled with fucking rage.
As Peter Griffin says, what really grinds my gears.
Do the voice.
Huh? I don't know how to do Peter's voice.
No, you talk back here.
And Lois.
Nope.
No, I can't do it. But yeah. Do you want to start?
Or I don't know.
Would you rather me start?
I'll start.
I've been waiting to like say some shit towards you.
Okay. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
For about a week, Kyle's been threatening me that he's going to say some shit on the podcast, and I'm really excited to hear what it is. On the surface, I'm a very cute, cuddly, hello everyone, I want to hug and nice to meet you boy. On the inside, I will murder you and slaughter your whole family. Let that be known. That's a side note. See, I got that from you. Yeah. So, I'll start with a little something, because I like to kick it off hard, and this is going to be a topic that people will at first find to be rude and disrespectful, and then they'll be like, honestly, he's right.
Okay.
You get me?
Yeah.
I'm trying to diverse and separate our fan group right now.
Gotcha.
I want there to be two warring sides, okay? Like, I don't
know if the bird's being loud, but I'm going to take the box away.
The bird had a box. It has been taken away. So I made a joke before we started actually rolling on the podcast, which is gays make me angry.
Yep.
I'm going to continue on that.
Okay.
By starting off with, I am...
Oh, wait. No, go ahead.
I am a gay,
okay,
so to speak. And so I have every right, not that I couldn't say whatever the fuck I wanted because I'm in America, bitch. Anyways, I have been around too many people that make me so fucking angry. And I'm going to give you an example of what I'm talking about, because I thought about this the other day, and it's just something that, like, when I think of something that bothers me or whatever, I hold it in and I think about it a lot. And I use it almost as like a, not therapy, but like a learning exercise for what I want to do in the future. Like speaking up for myself, or like speaking up for others and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So I was in Ann Arbor, Michigan, long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away. Not really, but it was like, I'd say a year ago. And there were some film festival things going on that I was at, and there just so happened to be an award-winning short film playing that was about some sort of like, I don't want to go too specific into details so we can be sued, but like, it was a award-winning film festival short from...
saying they're not going to find us.
Asia. Yeah, they won't find us. From Asia, okay, made by an American film student. Gotcha. From, he was filming in his home country.
Mm-hmm.
And it was kind of about like a person trying to express to his community that he's gay. And like he basically broke all the social norms, and it was very like, it was very fabulous and comedic, if that makes sense. It wasn't
I like
dramatic.
that you used the word fabulous.
Yeah, it was fabulous.
So whatever the movie or video it was, it had style.
It did.
Okay, I like
so
that.
This is why it pissed me off, and you're gonna agree with me in a second.
Okay.
Is I was watching that film in a room full of people, about 100 people. Okay. Yeah. And it was kind of, we were watching.
That's a good crowd.
Yes. Great crowd. We were watching about 10 films that won awards, and some of the people who made it were there. So it was kind of just like a watching ceremony, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But it was, it was technically kind of like a private party, because it was all like the film heads of U of M, Michigan.
Right.
So, that being said, this was the only film that played anything that had a agenda behind it, The rest of them were dramatic and whatever, stupid? Horror,
okay,
different topics. But this one was more about, being yourself and being true to your gayness, right? Which is great, whatever. This is where I get angry. This was fabulous. Like, it was amazing film. It was about 12 minutes long, maybe a little shorter, and it was solid. The picture was amazing, the footage was amazing. The editing was amazing. The music was amazing. The audio was amazing. Nothing missed. Costumes were amazing, because it was like set in like a not dirty, but like a third world country style of Asia, like a village, right?
Okay, so they went to Cuba.
And the person who was coming out was, like everything was turning rainbow colored. Just as an example. It's not what happened, but
right.
The editing looked amazing. I could not enjoy this movie, the short film, because in the back of the room, there were about 12 people of the gay community literally fucking screaming, whooping, and snapping their goddamn fingers. Like it was a goddamn poetry smash, okay?
Oh, like they just weren't being quiet?
The entire time they weren't being quiet. In a movie theater, I think... Oh, fuck. You've never been to a theater with me where I got angry at somebody and I'll stand up and be like, hey... you need to be quiet.
No,
have you? Have we?
So, that one time that we all went out, it was for work. We all got invited to go to the movies, and then we went to a bar right afterwards.
Yeah.
And we you didn't go to the bar, but
no, but I went to the movie.
But you went to the movie.
Yeah.
and it was our coworkers who would not shut the fuck up during the whole movie.
Did I say something?
I remember you saying, if I didn't know who the fuck these people were, I would have cussed them out by now.
Oh, yeah. Well, they were being really obnoxious.
And I just remember them being super loud, laughing loud, and like...
Talking.
I don't remember us watching a comedy. They were just laughing.
No, we were watching a horror movie. We were watching Evil Dead Rises, I'm pretty sure.
Yes.
Which, by the way, great movie.
It was fucking hilarious.
It was funny.
There was just... So,
it was kind of funny.
Dude, when I watched that little kid get fucking hammered across the fucking room, like...
Awesome.
That shit...
And the cheese grater and the whole crowd kind of went like, oh, and like, you know, they did the cheese grater thing. Low key, great movie, and it was funny.
Yeah.
I feel like Evil Dead is supposed to be horror funny.
Yeah, it had a lot of like comedic parts to it, and it was fucking... I'd watch it again. But
our friends were obnoxious.
Our co-workers were just in the background talking the whole time.
Yeah.
They were drinking heavily.
And I think they were hitting their pens.
Yeah, and they were also getting a little high, blah, blah, blah. They were like sitting a few chairs behind us, and I just remember Thomas just being like...
Fuming.
Dude, I got my gun on me right now.
I'm upset.
I remember him pausing one time, looking back, and was like, I'll fucking kill you all. And then turning
I did say that! I did! Yeah, I was getting pissed.
They didn't understand you, so they just kept laughing. They're like, oh well, it's just Thomas.
I literally like whisper yelled. I was like, I will fucking kill you. Shut up.
And then after that, Thomas just stopped talking the whole movie.
There's nothing I could do.
And I was just sitting there like, I'm having a great time.
I also didn't want to like ruin friendships because I like those people. You know what I mean?
Those people are really cool.
Yeah.
They just have a hard time shutting the fuck up.
Yeah, and I learned from that point, do not go to the movies with these people.
Right.
That's all. That's
so. I'll also say this: I like talking during movies, but I don't talk.
Careful.
Randomly about the movies, right? Like I won't just be like sitting there talking to you about some bullshit.
I will say you do not do that.
And then
that's true.
Like, and then just like laugh about the bullshit while the movie's going. I don't do that. I'll be sitting there during the movie, and I'll get caught up in the movie, and like I'll start to get hyped about it, and I'll be like,
yeah, you'll comment on the movie,
or like something will happen. So, dude, there's so many fucking movies where I get so pissed.
We're side noting.
About like, we're side noting, but it's still something like you get angry about
Which I wanted. I wanted you to relate.
So the issue with that part is sometimes in movies, shit will just happen, and I'm like, that's not realistic. And I know I'm watching...
Yeah, you make a little comment.
I know I'm watching a movie that's not supposed to be realistic, but still, it doesn't make sense. So, I'm going to give a...
I mean, Dune Part 2 is a good example.
Oh, yeah.
We were watching it, and you're like...
Yeah, so in Dune, I don't want to talk about Dune again.
Right.
Just so you guys know.
Yeah.
But I want you to know that there was a part where... a character was standing right on this side, and then they like took 2 steps, and they were about a mountain away. And I'm like, how did they get that far? And they were like, and he was like, no, they jumped scenes. I was like, no, they didn't. They're still at the same conversation that they were having just a second ago. It was, hey, where'd you get the water? I want water. And then they like move the camera, and then boom, they're a mile away. Yeah, that water was great. Thanks for letting me have a sip right now.
I don't remember this at all.
That part didn't happen. I'm making that part up.
I see.
But I'm just saying, like, that's like what happened, you know?
Okay.
It's like, fuck, I'm trying to think of another good one. Oh, fuck, what's the name of that movie?
I don't know, man.
What is his name?
Tom Holland. Characters.
Tom Holland was
Spider-Man.
in it. Not Spider-Man. They made him do another video game franchise. Far Cry?
No. I got it. Uncharted.
Uncharted.
Yeah.
Yes, Uncharted.
Pretty good.
It was good.
Yeah.
But I want you to know, if you guys haven't seen it, I don't give a fuck.
Skip ahead 30 seconds.
The ending where the big bads and the good guys, well, they're the main characters are bad, just so that you understand. No one was good. Mm-hmm. It was just a bunch of different companies trying to steal fucking gold.
You're railing. Go.
Yeah, whatever. There is a part where the bad guys don't have enough information to know where the gold is. Right? Mm-hmm. So they decide to follow the main character.
Right. And
the main character gives them a map telling them to go the opposite way.
Okay.
right?
Sure.
By no means should they ever meet again.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
They should never meet.
And then he goes into the tomb.
And then he goes, gets on a boat, travels the opposite way, and somehow the evil villain for this movie notices him going the other way. And I'm like, why the fuck would they notice?
I feel like I kind of remember
How
that.
did they know he was even on that boat at that point? Like, they were in like a fucking plane or something going the opposite way.
Yeah, I kind of remember.
And I'm like, they're leaving. In their head, they should be, oh, this guy's doing whatever. They don't have him on a fucking tracker or nothing like that. No, they caught his ass. They stole his shit. They're going to get the gold, right? He goes the opposite way. He finds the fucking gold. He starts to take it. And then all of a sudden, the baddies are on top of him, beating the shit out of him.
Yeah, I kind of remember.
And I'm like, where the fuck did they come from? Like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm sure if I rewatch the movie, I'll change my opinion because then, oh, maybe they had a good reason why they saw him. But they should not have been there. Because that makes no sense. But I also hate when those scenes happen where, so I'll go back to Dune really quick.
When Kyle likes to get on a topic and just roll, I kind of just like sit there and absorb it because it's hard to stop him once he's on it. Because once you stop him, he'll start to shake.
He'll forget what I'm trying to talk about.
But then he'll start to shake and be like, I gotta get it out.
So like, I'll go back to Dune or whatever, right? There was that part where they were being attacked, and there was
part 1 or part 2.
I think it was a part 2.
Okay,
it had to be part 2 because it was when the mom and him were in that desert hiding under a rock.
Oh, the first scene.
Yes, the very start.
Oh, you didn't like the part where Jessica like got up to the back of the mountain fast as fuck and killed that guy.
Yes,
killed the Harkonnen.
Like, it made no sense for her to be right here.
She had time,
and then. Okay, so just so it be known,
and
there was this big guy with a fucking gun on top of a hill.
Yeah.
This lady was on the bottom of the hill, and so was her son, and I guess her son was fighting 2 other guys, and he was about to get killed by the guy on top of the hill.
Okay.
This bitch took 2 steps and was like, right on this guy's throat. And I'm like, how did she get up there and then get right back down behind the rock? How did she have enough time to do all of that?
I feel like these scenes all kind of just blend in your mind and you forget what happens.
No, because that's what happened. She booked it up there.
No, we don't see Jessica as Paul is running towards the other guy. That's like a 10-second fight. She can get around.
Okay.
She's covering his flank.
I want you to understand that Harkonnen had perfect shot to kill him.
He did.
I can take this shot right now.
Yeah.
Instead, he watches the guy run to the other 2, kill his friends. I'm not going to take this shot.
Well, he just
and then he gets killed.
Nah, he walked over the hill. He saw the end of the fight.
And then that time where they were like firing the rocket launcher or whatever, right?
Yeah.
He was trained by world-class fighters, right? But I watched 2 Harkonnen fight him at the same time.
That part I do.
One of them laid on the floor and he's like, no, don't stab me. While the other Harkonnen stood there was like, yeah, my friend's about to die.
And he went straight for the one with
I'm going to go for the one who has a rocket launcher instead of helping my friend killing this fucker. There was a lot of parts that just did not make any sense.
I will agree with you that strategically, tactically, that doesn't make sense. But I will back up the Dune franchise by saying, number 1, the Harkonnens don't care about each other. Number 2, he saw the bigger threat, which is Chani with a rocket launcher trying to kill the ornithopter.
You know, I can understand that.
Yeah, but I understand.
But these are supposed to be trained fucking soldiers who understand the threat is in front of them. They need to kill what's there to get to there.
Okay.
I know they had to have understood that.
Tactically, you are correct.
Because they are trained soldiers. They should know this information. And then that one soldier that was... fuck Dune, I'm done talking about... Continue your story, whatever you're talking about.
So, in the back of the room in Ann Arbor... Right off the bat, I'm ready. Yeah. So right in the back of the room, they're whooping and they're snapping their fingers.
Yeah.
And it's obnoxious because I'm telling you, I swear to God, it's from the first minute of the short film. Because the short film starts off with, it's very quick. It's very like, hey, this person's not socially accepted. This person wants to go to a drag show. They're gay, and their parent, I think, who's in the film, doesn't appreciate them. And then there's a magical being that is in the head of this. Person who's trying to come out.
Fairy Wish Prince?
Yes, and the reason why I'm making it so vague is because the short film is literally called something like fairy.
Okay.
Yeah. So, it's a fairy, right? No pun intended. It's a fairy, right? So,
sure. It's implied.
When the fairy comes out, it's a very cool scene because first of all, it looks magical. The makeup is amazing on this person, and the effects are really cool. And the music starts playing, like badass hip hop music, right?
Gotcha.
The gays in the back, man, they just start going off, and I'm like, a couple is fine. You're being represented on film. I like it. You know what I mean? This is right after. So actually, it was like 2 years ago.
It's in your ballpark.
It's in your ballpark, and honestly, I can take a couple claps. And yes, I was pleased.
Like your ballpark.
I was pleased. I wear a dress sometimes, right?
Yeah,
Fuck
sure.
it. So I got more photos back from my horse photo shoot.
That's cool. This is a side note.
Oh boy, here we go.
I don't want to like.
I'll never finish the story.
I'm not gonna jump into a whole nother tirade. But
Okay.
I will say I did go to a
drag show.
A drag show.
Yeah, how'd it go?
And it was fucking amazing.
Some of them are really great.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but some random person messaged me on Snapchat who was there. Right?
Did you post on a Snap story? Like the world story, you know what I mean?
During that time I wasn't posting openly.
Okay.
So I don't know how the fuck they like messaged me.
Yeah. Because
it was kind of weird.
Yeah.
But they like messaged me and they were like, hey, I'll suck your dick. And I was
amazing.
And I was just like, what the fuck? And they're like, yeah, I saw, they like messaged me. They're like, I saw your post. I saw what you look like. And I was like, oh, but I don't know how they saw it.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck are these people?
How did you add me too?
Yeah. And like, well, they direct messaged me or something. And I was just like, oh, okay. And then I was like, I appreciate it. Thank you.
I have a fiance.
But I'm here with my fiance. She wanted to come to this. And, from what the person sent me, it looked like a woman, but I think it was a dude.
Right.
And I, hey, power to you, man.
That's the best of both worlds.
He looked great.
Hey, I love it.
But that's a side note.
That's a side note.
Yeah.
The main booklet here is that throughout the entire film, whenever anything happened, so you know at the start, I'm cool with it. If you snapple it up, you go, woo, you know what I mean? That's fine.
You get out your woos at the very start.
Right.
Because, like, people do that shit for Star Wars and stuff.
Exactly.
They see those.
I do that.
They see those credits. Yeah!
Exactly. When there's nothing happening and everybody can read the text.
MJR.
There you go. Stop getting a sponsor from MJR.
I want MJR to sponsor me.
Me too. So, the crowd of
the manager knows me now. Sorry, that's a side note.
All three of them or just one?
So the last time I went, it was the black guy was in charge.
Yeah, that guy.
I don't remember his name, sad to say, but either way, I wouldn't tell you guys his name because then I wouldn't want you to find him.
James.
Was it James?
It was something with a J or a D.
Whatever. I don't fucking care.
I'm autistically going through my head right now. I just talking right to him, and I'm looking at his name tag.
Well, he was there, and he like I walked past him, and he stopped me, and he was like, "How are you doing?"
Is your friend dead?
He didn't ask about John.
Ah, damn it.
He stopped me and said, "How are you doing?"
Oh, that's good.
And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing really good. Thank you for remembering me."
Oh, I like that.
That's all I said to him, and I walked away.
We're gonna get him on the podcast. The crowd at this Ann Arbor place is all film heads, mostly. I'm sure it's some friends of people that came or whatever. Yes. But I would tell you that 90% of the 100 and whatever people there were all film heads. So people whooping and cheering, especially if you maybe even know the person that's making the film is there or whatever. That's fine. That's fair. But dude, anything that happened that was in the film, any moment in the I'm going to tell you, it was every 7 seconds.
So because
it's like a short
12-second thing, so shit had to have been happening fast.
Literally fast, because it's a short film, so you absorb all the information quick to get the story, right?
Yes.
For 10 to 12 minutes, I had to listen to this group in the back snapping consistent, like 10 of them snapping their fingers consistently and like shouting. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I'm trying to watch the film. I'm trying to enjoy it. And I'm like, I was at a point where I'm in Ann Arbor. If I get up right now and be that guy, I was, by the way, sitting in the front. I was sitting in the very front. So if I got up, everyone would see me.
You were sitting all the way in the front, getting bothered by the people all the way in the back.
I shit you not. This is how the room setup was, by the way. All lawn chairs until the back row was bleachers for some reason. Not big bleachers, like rows of 2, but it was at like an art.
Yeah, I gotcha.
It was at like an art thing. So if I stood up and made a scene, it would have made a scene.
Yeah.
And I was also there with people who will not be mentioned that are a part of this group as like a career and as like friends.
Oh, like gay people?
No, film people.
Gotcha.
One of them was gay, but yes, like film people, right?
Gotcha.
So if I was to speak out as someone who I'm involved in that community, but I was invited to that specific event from them, I would have embarrassed them.
Right.
Because I'm very, like, big compared to those people. And I would have been like, hey, keep it down. I'm trying to enjoy it, right?
Right.
Couldn't do it, man. It took every ounce of me to sit there and just like
be quiet,
bottle it up. Yeah, because first of all, I'm outnumbered. I know that 50 to 80% of that crowd would have mobbed me.
Let's say this.
Yeah.
You had said something. They wouldn't have cared if you were gay or not. They would have been like, oh, it's just some white dude trying to say we can't be gay.
Sure.
Right.
If you want to get, if I don't like to put words in, you know, I don't want to assume what they would do, but I assumed in my head that they would they'd pull out their phones.
They would have tried starting something.
They would have started something.
Yeah.
Right.
Just so it be known, just so that, like, we clarify.
Yeah.
This guy, he's bisexual.
No, hold on. Unapologetic Voices, bro.
Oh, did I apologize?
No.
Well, I wasn't going to.
And I'm not going to apologize for what I have to say.
Well, no. Fuck you. Like,
that's not what you're going for?
That's not what I was going for.
Continue, sir.
I was just saying that, you know, you're bisexual. You've dated dudes, you dated girls, blah, blah, blah. Right now, you're technically dating a girl.
I've had some cocks in my ass.
Were you there at the time with your girl?
I was, and I wasn't trying to imply that.
So I'm going to say this. If they had saw you with your girl, and you were like, dude, I'm gay too, they wouldn't have fucking believed you. They would have been like, fuck you, dude, we see your bitch right there.
Yeah, I'm one of those, like, right in the middle people. I'm on the middle of every line.
Yeah.
I'm a centrist, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It's fun being in the middle of both conflicts. It makes my life real interesting.
Oh, yeah.
When people want to start debates with me, I'm like, I don't give a fuck.
Right.
I do not care.
No, I understand. But I was just, like, trying to connect two and two. Because you never mentioned that she was there.
No, I was trying to keep it out of there.
For what?
I don't know.
just so that you could be like, yeah, I'm just gay. Like, no.
No, I was saying it in terms of hiding identities.
But we weren't saying your girl's name or nothing.
No, but I said what city and what was taking place. Just in case.
Fuck does that matter?
It doesn't.
You could have been in fucking Plymouth for all I know.
That's true. Maybe I was, allegedly.
Oh, okay.
So, just to start off the podcast with that, even though we are 30 minutes in, things like that really make me fucking angry. Okay. And as you get later in life, as one learns and one does, you learn not to hold back. You learn that if you don't stand up for yourself or stand up for others and you kind of just hold everything in your head, at least for me, that's me as a person, it will bother you for the rest of your life. I can let things go pretty easy, but the problem is that I get reminded of them for some reason years later. Years later.
Okay.
You could piss me off about something that you said that you didn't mean or whatever, and I'll be like, it's Kyle, it's my best buddy, I don't give a fuck. Right. And then a year from now, I'll be like, that fucking cunt, I'll beat the shit out of him.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So
that pisses me off. I want to tell you right now.
Okay.
I want to hear what the fuck you've been holding in for like a week right now. So it's bothering me.
So I just want this to be known. I think because I've been bottling this up against you.
Yeah.
And I know once I say it, you're going to be like, why the fuck does that even matter? I know you're going to be like disappointed.
I'm so excited right now.
Right?
Yeah.
Because I've been getting angry at a lot of our workers for the smallest of shit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but like in my head, I'm like, oh, this doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
Whatever. Right? And then as I'm walking away, every single time I just start to get
You think about it more.
I get angrier and angrier, and I'm like, why do I care?
I swear to God, I think you got that from me.
Yeah.
I swear to God.
I'm like, why do I care about this anger right now? It wasn't even that big of a deal.
Yeah.
So this is, before I start talking about that, this is kind of a side note. I'm going to explain two of the situations that really fucking pissed me off.
But not where they're at.
But not anything about them.
Got it.
So there is this little old lady who works for our company.
I'm gonna say her fucking name.
No. No names.
We're gonna call her Agnes.
Agnes, whatever. Yeah. Fine, she can be Agnes.
She's 3 feet tall.
You know, she has that kind of name
80 years
already.
old. Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
So, like, she is literally a 3 foot tall, black lady.
Yeah, little
who
old.
is very lovely, very nice.
She seems sweet.
She has like some form of dementia or something. She gets lost. And like if you give her any sort of directions, she has no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
Right.
And I'm like, cool, I'll never tell you to do anything.
Yeah.
It's not me.
Yeah.
I won't do that. So this lady, bless her soul, she walks towards me and she's like maybe I'm trying to think of a good like distance, right?
10 feet, 5 feet.
So like she is
how many couches away?
So if she was out this door in the hallway.
All right.
Right? So I have like a little hallway.
So 2 couches.
Yeah, about 2 of my couches away.
All right.
Whatever. So this about 2 couches away.
Okay.
She looks at me, says, "Hey," gets my attention. Says it like normal volume. I immediately, "Hey, what's up?" And she like whispers to me. She's like, but she's a mile away. She's like, and I'm like, I don't know what you just said to me. And she comes walking up to me, and she's like right next to me. I'm right next to her, and I bend down to like go to her height, because I want to hear what she says. I put my ear close to her head. So
Your one good ear.
It's like right here, right? And I'm like, "I'm sorry, I didn't hear you from that far away. Could you please like tell me again what you said?" And then she was like, I'm not gonna say exactly what she said, but she was like, "Hey, I just wanted to ask if it was like
just triple
this
volume.
place." She quadrupled her volume,
right in your fucking
screaming into my ear. And then I took a step back, looked at her, and was like, "No." And I walked away, and I didn't want to say anything because I don't just yell at people for nothing, and I know who she is, so I immediately was like, "Sweet old lady, whatever."
Agnes.
Yeah, a sweet Agnes.
Yeah.
Love her.
Bless her heart.
Yes. And so then she walks away. Like, I didn't answer her question, so she walked away, whatever.
And then the dark side.
And then I sit down, and I'm, like, minding my business. I'm still... Because I was going to do my job. I'm waiting to do something specific. And I'm sitting there, and I'm just, like, wondering, pondering. I'm like, why does my ear hurt?
Why is there a ringing noise?
Why is there a loud ringing noise in my ear? Why do I feel so angry right now?
Let the darkness
and
take
I'm like festering it, and I was like, I have a coworker. I'll name her. Her name is Tracy. I love her. She's like this. What is she? She's like 23, 22.
Yeah.
She's like 22.
She's
23.
21, by the way.
She's 21?
Yeah, she just turned
21. Oh, yeah, she just did.
Yeah.
She had a really, like, interesting outfit that for her birthday. That was really cool. So she's 21. She's this, like, fucking 5-foot black girl. And...
She's 4'9", pushing it.
4'9", pushing
She's
it.
She's a little elf. She's so funny.
Dude, we make fun of her because of her size all the time. But she's, like, my go-to, dog. Like... If anything happens at work, I call her.
It helps that you share an office next to her.
If I can't get a hold of Thomas, because the thing is, I tell Thomas everything. It doesn't matter what it is. I will call him, let him know about it, but I can't do that anymore because we do a podcast. And I think to myself, hey, I need to save it.
Yeah.
I need to like...
That's literally the worst.
Yeah.
You can't vent anymore.
It sucks because I can't go to him to be like, I need you to hear this, but because I think it's going to be funny, but whatever. So I talk to her, and she laughs at it all the time. Personally, she does not listen to my fucking podcast, and I'm very pissed about it.
Well, now she's mentioned,
because
so she has
I want her to listen to the podcast, but every time I tell her, "Why aren't you listening to the podcast?" she's like, "Bitch, I already hear all your stories."
Really funny.
And I'm like, "Yes, I know." And then she's like, "I already see you. You're a fucking cartoon character. You're doing a little dance while you tell me this story." Yeah, and she has a country accent.
She
and all
does.
That.
It's not like a ghetto accent. It's a country accent.
And she doesn't think she does. Isn't
hilarious.
Right? And the ghettoer she gets, the more country she gets.
Amazing.
And I push her buttons all the time just to hear her country voice because it's funny.
It's hilarious.
But yeah, I called her and I was like, what's that one girl's what's the old lady's name that one of our coworkers always says that it's your grandma, but it's not, blah blah blah. And like she immediately said her name because like she knows the bullshit.
Agnes.
Yeah, Agnes. And immediately she's like, what happened? I was like, I think I hate that bitch. And she's like, what are you talking about that sweet old lady for? You leave her alone. I was like, I didn't do anything to her. I'm a good boy. I'm a good boy. I didn't say one thing to her, but I wish I did. I have all this hatred right now. And she's like, what happened? And then I told her that whole little story. But there was another one that I've also hated. I met this kid. It's a young guy. The entire time he was talking to me. So I hate that I am a manager.
Yeah.
Because now that we've hired newer people, they don't treat me like the same that they treat like the others.
For sure.
Treat me.
Yeah.
So like before I used to be their coworker.
Right. And
they understood that now I'm above them, but we can still talk.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, this is a new guy. He's like, oh man, this guy must be important. Blah, blah, blah. Now, I'm not going to say I'm not important at the job. I do some vital things, but it's not that big of a deal. But the whole time he was like, oh, nice to meet you, sir. How are you, sir?
Yeah, there's
all
a
this
lot
stuff.
of... Yeah.
And I was just like, oh, calm down,
I know
man.
you're talking about, by the way.
Right. And I was like, calm down, man. We're chill. I'm going to explain this position for you. It's really easy. You can play on your phone. You can do whatever the hell you want.
I know exactly what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to say his name.
No.
But...
I'll tell you what. I don't even know his name. Go ahead.
I do, because he fucking said it like 5 times. But he at the very end, when I showed him how to do everything, and he was like, wow, I really appreciate you, like, explaining all this to me, sir, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. Young guy, probably, like, just turned 18, if anything.
Right on.
Or he's one of the minors that we have right now.
Sure, because it's summer.
We hired a whole bunch of them for the summer.
Yeah.
But he goes to shake my hand, and it's like this motherfucker never knew how to shake a hand in his fucking life.
Oh god.
And I'm just saying, like, my father taught me how to shake a hand.
Yeah.
I'm like, even if you didn't have a dad, like,
you learn through social norms.
You learn through social norms. So he sticks his hand out for me. So like,
I don't want to do it.
I already did this.
It makes me so angry.
But he stuck his hand out, and as I was going in for it, he like closed his hand right here on my fingers and just shook my hand.
I hate looking at it.
And then he did that, and I like paused, looked at him while he shook my fingers, and I was just like, all right. If you need any help, I'll be in the office. I just walked away. Like
that was the point of...
I cut the conversation.
Yeah.
And that's not a big deal. It wasn't a big deal.
It's not a big deal.
In my mind, I wouldn't give a shit.
It's disappointing, but it's not a big deal.
Right.
But
I'm like... But as I walked away, I don't know why, I started harboring hatred towards this guy I just met.
Yes,
and I'm like, I just don't like him. Fuck this dude. What is wrong with him?
Absolute.
And keep in mind, I don't know if he had a father to raise him. I don't know if he had a brother to show him how to shake hands. But I'm sure he has shaken hands before.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the way that I learned, you hit this part. The moment you hit is when you close.
For sure.
If you don't hit, you don't close.
No.
Because it's a piece of shit handshake.
Yeah.
And like, you know, I even paused for a second. I was like, should I tell him to redo the handshake?
Right, yeah, you make a joke out of it.
Yeah,
like,
but
one more time.
But I didn't. And I was just like, whatever, I'm going to leave it.
That's where you fucked up.
Yeah, that's where I fucked up. Because I didn't satisfy my urges.
Exactly.
Because I had the mental impulse. But this is the real fucking thing that I've been waiting to say, that I've probably been like, that's the reason why I've been getting angry about everything else. I've been nitpicking at shit. But Thomas is a fucking bastard. Like, he is the most...
I'm excited.
The most special ed person.
You smoothly segued into that, by the way.
Thank you.
Very impressed.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
But, so, this is the situation. Sometimes...
Oh, no more compliments for me?
No,
I
fuck
thought that was
you.
nice. Okay, go ahead.
I'm really tired of you.
Bastard and special ed. You're tired of me? we only hang out outside of work like once a week.
Every other week, if anything.
Hey, buddy.
But, so... I'm ashamed to even say it out loud, because
I'm concerned now.
It's not that big of a deal.
Okay.
But sometimes...
I am a bastard.
Sometimes... Technically, I am too, right? Because my parents weren't married.
Hold on. Sidetracking.
Okay, yeah.
Get on point.
okay. But sometimes Thomas will call me right?
Okay.
And he will randomly call me any time of the day, doesn't matter when, and he'll answer, and he'll be like, "Hey, man." And then I'll be like, "Yeah?" And he'd be like, and I'm like, why isn't he saying anything?
What are you talking about?
What is he thinking right now? Because sometimes Thomas does this thing in his head where he thinks he's saying shit to me. And he won't say anything.
What is going on right now?
You did this to me like 3 times in a row. And I'm like, okay, whatever. So he didn't say anything. And I was like, hey, do you like need something? Or like, what's going on? And he'll be like, what are you talking about? And I'll be like, listen, motherfucker, you called me. I didn't call you. You called me. And then he'd be like, relax, man. I was just trying to find out this specific information. And then I'm like, then why didn't you say anything? Why do you take a whole minute to tell me what you want? Because normally how we talk to each other, this is literally our phone calls. Hey, babe, what's up? Oh, I just wanted to know about this. Oh, you don't know anything about it? And he hangs up on me. That's what he does. And I'm like, okay, cool.
I want to defend myself that you started that trend.
Now,
when I first joined the friend group, that's the first impression you gave me. You and Johnny both did that to me.
So that is something I specifically do, that I specifically gave him.
Right. You gave me the gift.
He talks for a second. He gets the information he wants. He hangs up. We don't need to say anything else. There's no such thing as a goodbye.
No, we'll see each other again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're walking up, we're
like
talking.
That. Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with that, right?
Can't believe you're tired of me.
But this motherfucker will call me and pretend that I called him. And I will wait for him to reply to me, and he never replies. And I know you know what the fuck I'm talking about.
Okay. This was exciting for you to hold in.
Yes.
You've been holding this in for longer than a week then. You've been holding this in for months.
It's happened a lot.
Yeah.
But it doesn't bother me because I'm so used to you doing it.
Sure. But sometimes it bothers you.
But
I hear your voice.
The last time you did it, I don't know why, it clicked in my head.
It was this week.
Yes.
It was like Tuesday.
It was literally just Tuesday. But it's because you called me for a stupid ass reason.
Yeah.
And it wasn't even like an important thing or anything. You just wanted to fucking say hi or some stupid shit.
No, I was wondering where you were because somebody specifically wanted you to do something. And I try to keep it very vague when I'm around that person so you can do what you need to do for the day and not be bothered.
Gotcha.
I low-key have your back in those situations.
Right. I understand.
Okay. I want to make that clear.
Right.
Uh-huh.
But on my end, it literally just looks like, hey man, how are you? What do you want? Nothing.
All right.
Just wanted to hear your voice.
Then I hang up the phone.
It's like, fuck you. And I hang up. Like, I do that.
And I know it's at times when you usually have, like, an AirPod in and you're listening to something, you're concentrating on work.
Right.
I know it's when you're mentally checked out in the moment.
Right.
From anything else in the world.
People will talk to me and I won't even know what the fuck they're I only ever have one headphone in my ear because I always want to listen to people and like interact with them, right? But I will just like
it's like having two in.
I'll put a podcast on, I'll put a YouTube video on, and the moment I hit play, I will not hear a single thing anybody is saying.
Zoned out, baby.
Because I'm not even paying attention to what I'm listening to. I'm just doing my work on the computer.
You're focused.
And I'm like, whatever, let me just get started.
I call.
And then I'll get a phone call, it'll cut me off, and then I hear stupid shit.
It's either Courtney or me.
Yeah.
Either one.
All the time.
So I want to tell you something before you go into your next rant.
Okay.
And you're not going to like it, but you're going to like it a little bit.
Okay. Well, that was pretty much the whole story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, you have more things to talk about that you hate.
Yeah.
That bother you. And I might have a couple more to throw in after that. But I just want to clarify to you something. I learned a long time ago that bothers you, and I purposely do that. This entire time, I purposely call you and go, like, I actually do have something to say to you. And I go, hey, what's up? There are some times where I do have your back in front of that person, so you can tell me if you are busy and something's going on, and then I won't bother you. Like, I just hang up Because if I say, what's up?
But every time you call me, I always say I'm doing nothing. Because, like, I say nothing every time.
Yeah, but I know the tone of your voice.
That's because I always say nothing.
I know the tone of your voice. I know if you're in a room or not.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like, I know if you're at your desk or if you're out.
Because I'll say this. Whenever our new boss calls me.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
He always says, hey, are you busy right now? Right. And I don't ever tell him what I'm doing.
Yeah.
I just say, what do you need? And then
Which is good.
And then he says, I need you to go do this, this, or that. Okay. And, I just go do it because I don't care.
For sure.
Right? I think it's a good quality to have.
Yeah.
But
it is.
I also kind of don't want him to know what I'm doing at all.
No, that makes sense.
Because he doesn't need to know. He may be my boss, but at least I'm doing my work.
Yes.
Right?
And you don't want him to know if it's work that can be paused or not.
Right. Because then he'll call me all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I get exactly what you're saying. But I just want to tell you that every other time, I do that on purpose.
Okay.
Just to piss you off.
Gotcha.
I do literally call you at random times just to go, hey man, what are you talking about? No, I fucking didn't. And then I have the phone. I purposely put it on you just to piss you off.
Just so I can be like, what the fuck was he even talking about? And then, like, sometimes you'll also text me, like, the thing with that photo that I sent you in the morning. And then you tried explaining yourself about the argument we had a few minutes ago.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, that conversation was over. What are you talking about? I'm talking about the picture.
And then I got bothered a little bit. I was like, no, you bitch.
Yeah. Because, so like, he'll... So we do this a lot where, like, we'll have a conversation and then it'll cut off, right? And then later on, we'll be talking about some other shit and then we'll just go right back into that conversation.
It's just like the podcast.
And we don't stop. Like, it just happens. Right? But
we both mentally usually sync at those moments.
But most of the time, whenever he's doing that, I'm like, dude, I'm already past that shit. What the fuck? We argued for like an hour. What does it matter?
Yeah.
But he'll be like, I didn't get that last word out. I need to get it.
I just need to finalize something. Dude, I gotta finish things when I start.
Right.
If you give me a puzzle and there's a piece missing, I will fucking kill somebody.
But I understood the puzzle. I figured it out before you even had to say anything.
Yeah, you have like a different kind of spectrum than I do, and it really pisses me off because I feel like yours is more chill. You know what I mean? I feel like yours is more relaxed.
The problem is that I understand you well enough to not care when you're saying something stupid.
For sure.
And then I'm like, because when we were talking, I explained in a short version of what you were going to say to me before you said it. And you were like, that's what I'm trying to say. And then I left.
Yes.
And I was like, cool, we're done with that conversation.
Nah.
And then I sent you a picture of something that I thought was hilarious as fuck.
And then I started talking.
And then immediately you were like, hey man, let me just explain. I'm like, bitch, we're talking about the picture right now.
For sure. I get where you're coming from.
Okay. Just so you know, it was a picture that said a person's name. It was one of our coworkers. And then it was, he sucks dick. And
hilarious.
Yeah, hilarious. It was just randomly
But it was left the night previous by an employee.
Yeah, by another employee.
So hilarious. Yeah. And there was a little dick on it.
Yeah, there was a little dick on it too. It was great. First and foremost, the coworker, if he had saw that, would not be happy. Our boss, he showed it to our boss.
Immediately I showed our boss.
Immediately he was pissed. He was like, that's inappropriate. Who did it? And it was like, no, but we don't know.
We don't know.
Because we ain't snitches like that.
No, and if it's not affecting the company, I don't give a fuck.
In reality, that guy did nothing crazy.
No, and to be honest, that guy is gay.
Oh, he is?
No, I'm just saying.
Oh,
he could be.
Okay, we're talking about the
note.
The one who wrote the note?
No, before.
The one whose name was recommended in the note.
That is correct.
Gotcha.
Allegedly.
Okay. So this is kind of a side note before we continue. I
swear to God, we're putting that on a t-shirt. Side note.
Side note. Yeah, it needs to go on a shirt.
And then on the back is the QR code for the Unapologetic Voices.
That would be cool.
QR codes on shirts work.
Yeah, they do.
I see them all the time, and I kind of just want to pull out my phone and just be like,
there's a lot of Rickroll ones.
Hilarious.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Because I don't want to fully explain, but I was working with a kid, and the kid had one of those shirts, And I looked at him. I was like, "Hey, so what's with that shirt? Is it just like a Rick Roll thing?" And like he looked at me and was like, "How did you know? You didn't even scan it."
Damn it!
I was like, and the first thing that went through my head was, because I'm not fucking retarded, kid. And like, that's what, because like the thing is for me,
you're getting more aggressive, man.
When it's kids,
for sure,
I treat kids as if they're adults too. It's not the best thing to do, but I don't bullshit with people. I talk with them as if they're my equal. I understand kids are not equals. They need to be taught certain things. They need to be shown that they shouldn't do things like that. But as soon as I said that and he told me that shirt was cool, or like that shirt was like its thing, I was like, dog, that is such a badass shirt, dog. Like,
yeah, nice shirt.
Fucking awesome.
Funny
dude.
shirt.
Yeah. Because literally, while we were walking, people were like, oh. You know, and like scanning his shirt.
How cool would that be if it pulled up like Spotify, like dun, dun.
Dude, yeah.
Yeah.
But
awesome.
But nonetheless,
we're no strangers to love.
The real thing that I was trying to talk about, I did go to the movies recently again, right? I went to
sorry, go ahead. It's in my head.
I went to Southgate, or I went to the MJR. Yeah.
Go ahead.
And that's, you know, I met the manager there, and he said all that. I went to go see Inside Out. Two.
Okay.
I'm sure you're planning to watch it.
Nope.
No? You're not planning to watch it?
I have a Disney tattoo on my ass. I have not been interested in Disney in the last, like, 2 years.
Gotcha. So.
Never saw the first one. Is what I'm trying to say.
I am not going to ruin the movie here as much as I would love to fucking ruin that movie for people. But I will say this. The movie is everything that I wanted from that movie franchise.
That's cool.
Right? What I expected is what I got. Because you know how I do that thing where, like, I'll look at a movie and I'll literally guess the entire movie.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, this is how the movie's going to go. And then I won't be... I'm like, I hope they do it good. Whatever.
Right.
I'm not impressed anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
As soon as I see a trailer, I dissect the whole thing.
I don't watch trailers because of that reason.
Gotcha.
I fucking hate trailers, just so you guys know. I can't watch them.
Some of them do ruin the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There are some trailers out there that have nothing to do with the movie. They're just side...
Sometimes those are good.
Those are so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like what was it? Like one of... Like a representation was the Wreck-It Ralph one. For Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Uh-huh.
The trailer that they had for the movie showed this little girl just playing on her tablet, and like the internet breaks and like all that bullshit happens. The internet does break in the movie, but that little girl playing the tablet is nowhere in the fucking movie, in the game that she's playing.
Right on.
Like,
but then you get the dope title card at the end.
Well, yeah, because everybody like bitched and complained, saying like, "Is that really not going to be a part of the movie? It needs to be a part of the movie." Blah blah blah. They added it in at the very ending, where like Wreck-It Ralph falls into like that world, and like he like destroys the fucking game, and then the little girl like goes crazy, and that's how it gets destroyed for the little.
You're talking about when she's in the car,
yeah,
and she throws the thing.
Yeah,
hilarious,
and she screams.
Great trailer.
That was the trailer. Yeah,
yeah.
So I love trailers like that. I will not see the trailers until I see the movie. So I didn't know about that bullshit until I saw, the movie afterwards.
I get you.
But long story short, I literally named every single thing that was going to happen in this movie, and I still was not disappointed. The way that they like did what I thought they were going to do made it look like how do I explain it? They showed it better than I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. If that made sense.
That makes sense.
The exact storyline that I thought was going to happen happened. Every point that was supposed to happen did happen. And I was like, wow, it's covering everything that I thought, but the way that they did it just looked so fucking good. I wish Dune was like this.
Fuck you. I'm going to jump in real quick.
Okay.
Before I lose my fucking mind.
Yeah.
First of all, kill yourself. Secondly, I know the bird's been very quiet. I've been wondering if the bird's okay this whole time.
It's sleeping.
Oh, your baby.
It chose to sleep on the floor for some reason.
Oh, cute. So, when you were talking about misleading trailers, I had to look up on my phone real quick. I was like, is she fine?
Yeah, she's just
okay. There. You keep looking back like there's something happening.
Well, I thought she was going to start climbing up, but she's not.
That would be awesome. We need our mascot, right?
She's just sitting there on the floor. The camera thing moved over a little bit. You could like see like her tail, because she's been like biting on the door, and like there's like bigger pieces of the cardboard that are on the floor.
Yeah.
So she's like chewing that stuff up.
Gotcha.
She didn't want to get out of her playground.
Yeah.
I gave her enough to play with, so
I like
she's
it.
just fun.
What a baby.
Yeah.
So, misleading trailers.
Mhm.
I kept thinking in my head, I'm like, there's something in my head that I can't get out of my head right now.
Gotcha.
Like a misleading trailer that's really good. So, like Wreck-It Ralph 2.
Yes.
Right? I was like, what is this trailer that's in my head right now that I cannot get out? And it has to do with movies that I've been watching recently because I'm kind of on like a roll. You know, I'm going through like a movie phase specifically. Yeah. Do you remember the 2014 Godzilla movie? Like the one that started off like the new branch of MonsterVerse.
Yeah, the first one.
The first one, technically speaking, where the U.S. soldiers jump out of the sky with the red smoke.
Yes.
That trailer blew my mind. Okay. I'm going to explain it to you because it's really simple. It was like a fucking 20-second trailer. Okay. You're watching TV one day. Trailer comes on. The screen is black and dark. Lightning storms start happening. And it cuts to like a cut screen of someone, like a Tom Cruise movie, like in the jumpsuit. In like a sky jumpsuit, whatever the fuck.
Wearing a helmet or something?
Yeah. And they're diving through the clouds. Breathing heavily. They're looking around. There's other soldiers falling. And then worse. And then they... they hit their ankle smokes and, you know, so they can be seen dropping into the orbit, right?
Yes.
And it's like literally 10 seconds of breathing, heavy breathing, looking around at people skydiving down, like soldiers clearly, but skydiving down, red smoke in the sky, and then it cuts to a back shot of like a stormy, like scenery of, you know, clouds and shit, and the red smoke coming through the clouds. It looks so cool, right? As they come down and you're watching from far away, lightning hits and it's just a shape of something and then it cuts and like I think in Japanese it said something coming 2014 or something like that.
Okay, so
nobody knew what it was.
The sight of like Godzilla.
Pretty much, but it didn't look like Godzilla.
Gotcha.
It looked like just a big shape in the clouds.
Just a different version of a kaiju.
And like a kaiju, and the last shot I think is the guy like breathing. I think it's Aaron Taylor Johnson, the actor. I think he's going and he's like going right next to like the scales or something.
Gotcha.
So nobody knew what it was for like a year, and then a week before the movie came out, they added a little more to the trailer, which showed you it's fucking Godzilla, and then the whole world went crazy. I remember that shit.
Gotcha.
It was in my head. I had to look it up because it was
kind of like how Endgames had different trailers.
Endgame had different trailers?
Yes,
it did.
They had like 3 different trailers, just so that people wouldn't. So like the first trailer came out. Yeah. And they, like, cut out a bunch of stuff. So, like, they showed a lot of the parts of the movie.
Great movie, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
When that came out, the whole world united to be superheroes.
Dude, just to see that shit.
Those movies literally, like, raised the generation. I think, low-key, they raised my generation. Even though I think, Iron Man came out in 2008?
Yeah, Iron Man.
So it didn't raise me, but it was, like, you know...
Well, I was always an Iron Man fan, but I love the Hulk. I feel like...
Really?
Yes.
You're a Dr. Banner fan?
No.
You're a Hulk fan.
I'm a Hulk fan.
I like that you clarified.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
So, I don't like that the Hulk has probably had the shittiest movie setup.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I feel like his movies were good to a certain degree.
Incredible Hulk was good.
Well, yeah. But it was like, I feel like he came out ahead of his time. Right?
He did.
They didn't
have correct.
The ability to show a good Hulk.
You're right.
And when they finally did show a good Hulk, they pushed his knowledge too fast.
Yes, and the world wasn't ready to receive the whole thing.
Right.
I'm going to tell you, I really didn't start liking the Incredible Hulk movie. I liked the toys and the action figure because I was young back then.
Right.
I liked the Abomination toy and all that stuff.
Right.
I didn't like those movies until literally like 2010.
Yes.
And I was like, oh, that movie was really good.
Right.
And then,
when you watch it again, you see it. And
the other superhero movies are coming out.
Right.
Yeah, I know exactly
what you're talking about. Because, like, I'm a big fan of the Hulk. Yeah. I've read almost all of their comics. Mm-hmm. I know they're coming out with new shit and all that. I don't keep up with all of it, but...
For sure. It's
I've read all the original stuff. But... I love his story so much. It's just an abused kid who got radioactive, you know? And he pretty much gets pissed and does some shit.
That's a great breakdown.
Yeah, it's essentially his story.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like, all this other shit happens. His dad's still doing experiments and all this bullshit. People are continuing his dad's work, and he his ability is that he can absorb more radiation. The more radiation he gets, gamma rays. The stronger he gets. Plus his anger, he gets stronger with anger. The angry he gets, the stronger he gets. That's such a great concept. For end games and all that, I didn't like that they made
Thanos.
No, not Thanos. Like, that was fine. Like, sure, the Hulk can go into his bitch mode where he didn't want to be the Hulk anymore.
Yeah.
Whatever, that's fine.
For sure.
But it's the fact that I'm trying to think of the correct wording, but it's where Bruce and the Hulk become one. Right? Okay. And that's when the brain still has control, but the body is the Hulk.
We'll call him Dr. Hulk.
Sure.
Yeah.
But that's essentially just Banner being the Hulk, right?
Yeah.
That is, like, considered, like, one of the weakest versions of the Hulk. I know I'm wrong, because it's not the weakest version of the Hulk. I know that.
Okay.
So, in case anybody, like, tries to quote me on this bullshit,
yeah,
I know he's not the
Get in the comments.
But it is canonical to know that Banner cannot get any angrier than what he is while he's both. When he is the Hulk doesn't have a limit on his anger. He continuously gets pissed. You hit him in the face, he's about to get stronger 10 seconds from now.
I like that you said it canonically.
Yeah.
It's a good word.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Usually you tell me, shut the fuck up with big words, but thank you.
Hey.
But he is like, he ever growing, right? Mm-hmm. But Banner, he understands and he accepts the fact that, I just got punched in the face. Fuck it, I'm gonna do this to whoop your ass because I know I'm strong.
Yeah.
He doesn't get stronger than what he is. He just is strong. And it's proven because there is an evil variant of that, right?
Okay.
He is not stronger than the normal Hulk. So, I'm forgetting what his name is.
You're talking Red Hulk?
No, I think his name's Maestro.
Maestro.
Don't quote me on it, but I think that's what his name is.
I feel like I know who you're talking about, but I feel like Maestro's not that character.
No, it might. I might be wrong.
I'm gonna pull
but there's an evil version of the Hulk who is intelligent, who has Banner's brain essentially.
Okay. And
I think it's Maestro. I could be wrong. But
yes, you're right. It's Maestro.
It is?
He's got the beard. Yeah. In a different universe, doesn't he kill everybody?
Yes.
Yeah.
In a different universe, he succeeds.
Yeah.
He conquers the land. He fucking does whatever he wants. Mm-hmm. But then he faces the Incredible Hulk. Mm-hmm. And like there's a whole convoluted story. Like the Hulk goes to hell. He fucking fights the devil.
I read this comic.
And like it's gruesome too. Yeah, because like shit just happens.
Very bloody. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think that's where I think Wolverine kills. Because like I think
that's Logan. That's the Logan comics. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, Logan has his own notch in there, for sure.
That's the part of the same universe?
I think so.
When it's a barren Earth and there's a Hulk family?
Yeah, and they're like radioactive Hulks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember.
I think that's
that's like Old Man. I think it's called Old Man Logan.
It is Old Man Logan. It's a branch from that, right?
I got you.
Because you know how like all of them are webbed together.
Yeah.
Right. I believe that's a branch. I'm not 100% sure. I remember reading Old Man Logan, but I don't think I ever finished it all the way.
Okay.
Nonetheless, all I know is Hulk becomes. Well, he somehow meets Maestro, fights Maestro, fucking slaughters the fuck out of him.
Okay.
So like the original Hulk
beats
the smart version of him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, fuck brains, I got bronze. And during that time, I think it's like the Planet Hulk style. So our Hulk isn't actually fucking stupid. At that point in time, he's starting to think, he's starting to have more thoughts than just anger. But still, he's fucking the Hulk. He gets stronger as he fights as well. If you ever read Planet Hulk, it's a fucking great series.
I think I have.
So Endgame's completely destroys Planet Hulk. And I hate to say that because, what is it? The Thor movie.
Okay.
I think it was the third one. They literally just, like, skipped all of Planet Hulk's content.
What was that called? Not the Dark World, right?
No, it wasn't Dark World.
Dark World was the second one. And it wasn't Thor Love and Thunder, was it?
It was Thor: Love and Thunder.
Really?
I think so.
I think that's Thor 4.
No.
There's something missing.
I'm missing one.
Yeah, there's one missing.
There is one where... Yes, it's when the Valkyrie girl...
The Valkyries.
They first meet the Valkyrie girl.
Yeah, what's that called? That's really good.
That's definitely
Ragnarok.
It's the third one,
Ragnarok.
I know a lot of people bagged on Ragnarok.
I dug it.
I thought it was good for what it was, right?
For what it was, yeah.
But they destroyed the Hulk story because...
he's there. That's right.
Right. But during that time, Banner and the Hulk actually split. And the Hulk gets sent away because they know if the Hulk stays in this world, he's too dangerous.
Okay.
Right?
And then he goes to planet.
So they get rid of him, send him to a fucking planet.
Yes.
And he becomes a slave on that planet.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, I don't want to be a slave no more. I'm just going to fuck people up. And then he gets electrocuted because he has a slave collar. And he gets like, he turns into a pet, essentially. And he's like, I'm fucking tired of this. And like, he's just slowly making moves to get out of being a fucking pet. Mm-hmm. And then he starts slaughtering everybody.
I feel like I've read this.
And, you know, one of the cool things is, this is like a desolate planet. Apparently, because of his gamma radiation or whatever, his blood reacts to this world. So, like, if his blood gets spilled anywhere, it becomes a luscious field of grass. Trees will grow.
Nice.
Like, he is the savior of that planet.
For sure. You
know? But he becomes evil, right? He goes there. He fucking takes over that whole planet. And then immediately he's like, who the fuck do I hate? I hate Banner. Let's go back over to that place and show them why the fuck they shouldn't have sent me away. Right?
Right.
Goes back, literally whoops everybody's ass and fucks them all up. Mm-hmm. And then, like, they have to figure out a way to try to stop him, but he's too fucking powerful. You know? Mm. I might be forgetting something specific, but Hulk has always been one of my favorite heroes.
Right on.
Because he's not really a hero.
Yeah.
Like...
But I'm surprised you like Hulk that much. I don't know why.
Yeah. Like, you know, I like Iron Man. His story's fucking cool, too.
For sure.
I've read a lot of Iron Man stories and all that. I do like that at the end... he didn't have his ultimate suit, but he had a variant of his ultimate suit.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So the suit that he had was the nanotech, like pretty much all those little bots that create his suit.
So cool.
He does, so his final suit is actually a solid silver suit.
Yeah.
And the thing is, he has like I think a crown or a gem. And that lets him telepathically control all of whatever that suit is.
Right on.
It's a special, like, alloy material.
Yeah.
Right? And it lets him manipulate it through his mind. So, like, he can create anything he's thinking of.
Yeah.
In this situation, he's programmed his suit to be able to just do it as he wills it.
For sure.
But, you know, his ultimate suit is, he is the ultimate Iron Man.
Yeah.
He does what Iron Man wants.
It's like the Hellbat suit.
Right.
I get you.
It's kind of like Blue Beetle, right?
For sure.
Blue Beetle's
for sure.
armor will literally create anything he needs at that time.
Yeah. I didn't see that movie. Was it good?
So
George Lopez was in it.
So I'll say this. Mm-hmm. The main character, I love him from Karate Kid.
Okay.
The remake
Cobra Kai.
I love him from that, like watching him like slowly grow older, getting his ass beat, fighting, winning, losing, winning, losing, whatever, right? So watching him in that kind of gave me a bias towards him.
Okay.
So like in my head, I'm like, he's such a good fucking actor because I watched him punch a kid in the face.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
Like that unbiased judgment.
It's hard to untypecast somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
So when I saw that he was in that part, I'm like, I'm so fucking happy for him. He's getting a big role now. Maybe he'll be in more shit.
For sure.
He'll be able to carry on.
Yeah.
Because, you know, sometimes people will do like a one-off show and then they never get fucking found again.
Right.
They're just gone.
Right.
For like 10 years and then they come back older and they fucking then do something. I'm hoping that doesn't happen to him. I'm hoping he continues to fucking live on and everybody's heart bullshit, whatever, fuck him. But his part, I feel like he did not do that well.
Okay.
In that position. I do think he did play the part good, though.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
It makes sense.
Like, they clearly, if they had gotten a better actor, it would have been cooler.
For sure.
But he was perfect for what I felt like it needed to be.
Okay.
You know? Because they just needed a fucking young Mexican kid.
Yeah.
Who could take a few punches.
For sure.
You know? But then some of the shit that was happening was like, well, why the fuck is this? Why is he doing it like that? Because he just seemed a little too awkward.
I gotcha.
Like, there's awkward.
Like, his acting was a little too awkward.
Right. There's awkward, and then there's too... That weird...
I definitely get you with actors such as Michael Cera and, like... who's the guy who's in, like, American Ultra? He's in the Facebook movie. Jesse Eisenberg.
Yes.
Like that. When I see them in movies...
You're talking about the guy from...
Zombieland.
Zombieland, yeah.
When I see them...
I love him. When he's in the correct movie...
He's great.
He is so fucking
Zombieland
good.
is a perfect role for him.
Yeah, because he gets to be essentially himself.
Right. But when I see him in movies like American Ultra, he plays a sleeper agent.
Yeah, and then when he got to be Lex Luthor...
Okay, it was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Like, low-key.
But a lot of people didn't like that he was Lex.
No, and at first I was also confused. But then at the end of the movie when he's bald and he gives you that sinister look.
When he's just like, skinhead time, this is my part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, he played the character to his part. You know, he was quirky. He was a quirky Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
Still a genius, still evil.
Yeah.
Not evil, but still.
Well, he got to do his whole little finger shit that he likes to do all the time.
Yeah.
They let him get away with like his little
antics.
Yeah.
Yes. So I agree with you that, you know, when I see somebody in a film, I don't notice at first, but then I'm like,
right.
You know what I mean? It's hard to see you.
So, like, you know, I give, like, depending on the actor, I give it an unjust bias. Depending on who it is.
For sure.
And I don't like doing that because then it's like...
It's not
like,
fair.
I'll say this. It's like watching the Adam Sandler verse, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to go there. A lot of people don't like Adam Sandler. A lot of people love Adam Sandler.
I like Adam Sandler.
Right.
I don't like the movies that much.
But let me explain.
Uh-huh.
There are movies that are 100% beloved.
Sure. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because no matter what, Adam Sandler plays the same fucking character
every time.
In every fucking movie.
Every time.
No matter what.
Uncut Gems is the only thing he's ever been slightly different.
Right. I was going to say that. I was like, he did Uncut Gems.
Yeah.
And that was a whole different take on his fucking character. And everybody loved it.
Yeah.
I thought that movie was boring as fuck.
I agree with you.
I watched it and I was like, wow, this is just really disappointing.
People freaked out because it was Adam Sandler as a dramatic Jew.
I don't know if he was Jew in the movie.
I don't remember if he was Jewish.
So, like, I watched it, but I don't remember if he was.
No, but I remember
there's a good chance
the movie being slightly boring.
Right. It's just...
Everybody freaked out about it.
Everything that was happening to him just felt like it... Like, I get
he asked for it.
Yeah, like, it was deserved.
Exactly.
But then when you're looking at him, and you're like, it's Adam Sandler. Like...
Yeah.
Where's his joke? Where's his laugh?
Right.
Where's the comedic... Where he's like, he'll talk to somebody and then... Hurry the fuck up!
Right,
kind of thing, like where he does that stupid yell or makes that stupid voice that he makes. Now, keep in mind, I love that shit because I'm fucking retarded and that shit gets me going. When you make voices and I start making voices, you know? But, I'm saying stupid, but I mean, like, beautiful. So, like, watching him in that serious tone, I'm glad that he did the movie.
And his acting was good.
His acting was amazing.
I could see him.
That wasn't the movie for him.
No, I agree.
I feel like if he was in a different serious movie, that didn't make him seem like such a bad person. Because, like...
Yeah, I agree.
It's hard to be the bad guy when all you play is the good guy.
The funny guy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because, like, in most of his movies, he's the good guy, or he's just, like... stupid enough to be still the good guy.
Literally.
Like, he's not mean or evil, even when he's, like... Even when he did, what was that movie where he goes, back to school and he's, like, going through all the grades again?
Billy... something?
I don't know, but...
I know what you're talking about.
But he pretty much, does a bet with his dad. He goes back to school just so that he can take control of the company. or whatever.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
like,
about.
He's being a dick to all the kids.
Yeah.
He's being mean
Isn't
to
there
everybody.
Like a funny dodgeball
He's like an asshole. Oh, you know those dodgeballs were real, like dodge. He was nailing the.
Yeah, wasn't there
kids.
a kid crying on set and their mom was trying to sue?
Oh, dude, so many of the kids got hurt.
There was like a story about.
Like he told, so like his exact words were, "Hey, fill the balls only halfway," and they were like, "Why?" He was like, "Because I'm going to nail these fucking children." And the kids knew what was happening, right?
Yeah.
That's why when you heard them screaming and like running, they were running for real.
Yeah.
Because he was just like, bah! And
Yeah.
then I remember, I think one of the stories was they didn't film it, but he nailed a kid first throw straight to the face.
Yeah, I think that's the kid where the mom was pissed and like something.
And they were like, this is a problem, but they signed a contract saying that this kid was going to get hit by a ball. So, tough titties.
Tough titties.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That shit was funny. I
would love to have been that kid.
Oh, yeah.
Dude.
Take that fucking hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if he popped my eye out? I'd be rich.
Doug. There's only so much the contract can handle, right?
Yeah.
But nonetheless, like Adam Sandler plays like the jerky dick character that's lovable really well.
Yes.
And like even in like all his other movies that he's in, he does that well. I don't remember what we were talking about before this.
Inside Out 2.
Right. I don't know.
We went on a side note.
We
that
went
turned
on
into
way too many.
a second book.
Yeah, Doug.
So,
that was a whole story.
Inside Out 2, you were saying that it wasn't what you were expecting. It was what you were expecting.
Yeah, it met all my expectations.
Right.
So, like, I'll explain this. The new characters. This
new
isn't
emotion.
a spoiler. This is something you.
It's in the trailer.
It's in the trailer,
emotions.
literally.
Yeah.
The new emotions is anxiety, embarrassment. Fuck. What was it was like d'ennui or some stupid shit.
I know anxiety.
It's called boredom, but
Okay.
they used a French version of boredom. I don't fucking
Why?
know. I don't know. And then they used it was jealousy.
Okay.
Those are the 4 new ones. And the basis of the movie is the 4 new ones don't want the old ones to mess up her teenage years.
Makes sense.
So anxiety explains to fear, hey, I'm just like you. The difference between me and you is you fear for the moment. I fear for the future. And then
That's
she's
deep.
right. And I was like, damn, that is such a good way to explain that you two are the same character,
Yeah.
but you do different things. In the like easiest way for a little kid to understand, right?
For sure, yeah, for sure.
And I was like, that's a great part. And then immediately they fucking band together and just start beating the shit out of the new one, or the old ones, and they throw them in a fucking jar and they throw them out.
Damn.
And they were like, and that's why we can't have you guys here because blah, 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 blah. And she starts creating. So, first and foremost, at the very start, you can tell that the 4 original emotions are fucking Riley up.
Okay. Is that a spoiler?
Yes.
All right.
But you can it's not a spoiler if you're watching, because the way that they do it, they look like they're in unison, working together really well.
Okay.
Right? The whole point of this movie is for Riley to find herself.
Sure.
Who she wants to be going forward from here.
Yeah.
Right? It's how everybody does it, right? But her four originals made her a good person. That's the basic way of saying it. I'm not going to explain how or why or whatever the fuck. You'll see it on your own. But they make her a good person, nonetheless. And then as soon as the new 4 come, they trash the old emotions and they create their own version of Riley themselves.
Okay.
They do the exact same thing the first 4 did.
You're like your goth mode.
Right.
Like your goth ages.
Yeah.
You know.
But more a little angsty and shit, because she was kind of awkward.
Teen angst mood.
Right.
Yeah. I was trying to say phase. That's the word I'm looking for.
Right. That was essentially.
I gotcha.
But the way that they played it out, you can see, the first group ruined her. Right? They gave her a false sense of self.
Okay.
right?
False expectations for life.
Right.
Got it.
And then the new version, they were just so fucking like. So when that bitch said, "I plan for future," because she's anxiety. She plans for all the bad. She essentially makes Riley not understand anything good anymore because joy is gone, right? So all she has is, I'm seeing all this bad shit, and all the other ones are showing bad shit. So, you know, they slowly start creating a self for her, who she wants to be, her high school years.
Gotcha.
Now, how everything plays out, I think it was extremely beautiful. Amazing how they had it set up. I'm not going to go into the full details for it, because if someone wants to watch the movie, I don't want to be the guy who just said, "Hey, fuck you, I ruined it for you." But just know, Riley is a fucked up character who needs...
therapy.
We all do.
Yeah.
But yeah, essentially she just needs some form of help, but she is not getting it. Like, I will ruin this part though.
Okay.
There is a part in her dad's, like, so there's a part where she, like, essentially, like, she's PMSing.
Okay.
She, like, wakes up and she starts cussing everybody out. Like, she's pissed as fuck as soon as she woke up, right? And mom's like, "Hey, it's time to go. Are you ready yet?" Blah, blah, blah. She just wakes up and she's like, "No, I didn't fucking leave. I didn't do anything yet. Blah, 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 blah." And then she starts crying, and then she's like, "I don't know what's wrong with me." There was the four main characters fucking up, right? And the mom, in her head, she's like, "Oh, fuck, it's beginning," right?
Yeah.
Like, and all of them are talking. They're like, "What are we gonna do? This is what we're gonna have to deal with." Blah, blah, blah. And then she goes to the dinner table, right? And the dad is just sitting there, like, you know, cutting his food, taking a bite of his breakfast. And then he's like, "Oh, hey, Riley, blah, blah, blah." And then, like, she immediately goes off on him. Unwarranted, right?
Right on.
She just goes off on him. And in his head, all you see is, like, all these alarms going off. And they're like, "Holy fuck, this is what we have to deal with. Blah, 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 blah." And then they were like, "Who gives a fuck?" Yeah, like, they just stop. Like, the alarm's going off,
Yeah.
and then all of them just pause, pull out a hammer, they stop the alarm, and they're just like, "Who cares?" And then the dad's just like you see the dread on his face. He's like,
"Hey, a man's life
yeah,
can sometimes be simple."
That was like, as soon as I saw that, I was like, you know, that is exactly what I would do.
When the men have
like,
no attachments.
I just been like, whatever.
They
like,
cannot be controlled.
You could be upset. You're not ruining my day.
Hey, I'm enjoying my breakfast.
Dude, just because I said that, I'm remembering this one time. I think I was singing "I'm Walking on Sunshine."
What the fuck are you talking about right now?
I'm going into a side note.
Okay.
Let me fester.
After this, I want to hear the story about John and McDonald's.
Sure, but I think you should say maybe your own story, because I've been talking way too much.
All right.
Okay, and then we'll go on.
That's fair.
Yeah. But,
I don't know what to talk about.
I don't give a fuck.
Okay, go ahead.
Talk about whatever. But what ended up happening was me and Courtney, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with Courtney. She was hella pissed about something, right? I had no idea she was pissed. I think I just came back from work, and, like, I'm singing, like, "I'm walking on sunshine, whoa, blah, 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 blah," right? And I'm just singing it, and I come through the door, and all I see is her, like, right at the door, turns around. She's like, "What the fuck are you, blah, 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 blah," and she just starts yelling. I don't remember what it was about.
It's like the movie.
But I'm walking into the house, and she's just yelling at me. I'm putting my keys down. I'm taking off my lanyard, and, like, I look at her. She's just yelling at me. I'm listening, and then as soon as she stopped talking, I was just like, "Walking on sunshine."
Oh my god.
And I walked away.
That's so fucked.
And you know, she, like,
She probably would have threw a chair at you.
she started laughing.
Oh,
And
okay.
she was like, because she wasn't yelling at me. She was just yelling out
Okay,
loud,
gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
And she was like,
Venting.
yeah. And she just immediately was like, "That's funny." Not that I didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
that I didn't let her ruin the song for me.
I gotcha.
You know? Because, like, she cared that I didn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But she also thought it was funny that I had to finish the song.
Oh yeah.
You know,
gotta get it out.
I didn't care.
You saw me with Rickroll?
Yeah.
Gotta keep going.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's, side note.
That's funny.
But go ahead and say whatever. That grinds her gears when I just don't care. I do whatever. So just so you know, we're still on context.
We're still in context.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I could be pissed about a lot of things right now. Probably like Star Wars in this moment. Have you heard all the drama
new Star
with
Wars?
the new Star Wars?
Dude, I have
Shut up, it's my turn. So the Acolyte, this new show. What were you saying?
I was just gonna say, Jamie.
Yeah. Which one?
There's more Jamies?
With the mask?
The one that works in the office with me.
Okay. There's two Jamies.
There's two Jamies.
Yeah.
Well, obviously I don't talk to the other Jamie.
You wouldn't.
Yeah. Fuck that one.
Yeah.
Whatever. But the Jamie that I do talk to.
The other Jamie's very nice. Go ahead.
I might be getting this wrong, but I believe she asked me if I've seen it, and I told her I no longer watch anything that has to do with Star Wars.
Okay.
And she was like, "What do you mean?" And I said, "I no longer enjoy watching Star Wars, and it's not because of how much it's changed, or like it just doesn't feel the same as what it was before for me."
I get you. I got it.
So
I see
like,
what you're saying.
the nostalgia factor that I used to have for it doesn't excite me enough to want to continue.
Yeah. It's just like, for you, it was good times.
Right.
I get you.
So I'll say this. I tried to watch The Mandalorian. Mandalorian was extremely good.
Mm-hmm.
All the episodes that I watched...
Where's Grogu? Go ahead.
Whatever. All the episodes that I watched, I thought were really good.
No, I thought you had a Grogu somewhere. I was almost 90% sure.
I do not have a Grogu at all inside my house.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Okay. But, that whole little thing, I just, I couldn't finish it. I was like, it's just not keeping me entertained enough.
I gotcha.
So I just cut it off. And then I tried watching something else. Maybe it was one of the new movies.
Okay.
And I'm just like, it wasn't there for me.
Okay.
So I cut it off. And I love Star Wars.
For sure.
Like, if you put the 3 originals and, like, whatever little side shit on, I'll sit there and watch it and enjoy it.
Yeah.
But it's like, whenever I hear all these, like, now I'm hearing these stories which you're about to go in on.
You're hearing more negative stuff.
I'm hearing only negative shit. And I'm like, well, why would I ever want to, like, continue?
Yeah.
And Jamie was telling me, I think it was only 2 or 3 episodes out or something like that. And she was like, so far from what I've watched, I've liked it. It's really good. It's amazing.
That's why Jamie's a bitch.
Right. And I'm like, what I said was, I haven't seen it and I don't plan to watch it. Mm-hmm. But from what I know and what I've heard so far, literally the first episode makes it so that,
Anakin.
Yes. Makes it so that Anakin wasn't special.
You got it.
In any way, shape, or form.
You got it.
And I'm like, well, the whole point of the story is that Anakin is the strongest.
You got it.
He is supposed to be...
the chosen one.
He is the chosen one who is supreme.
Yeah.
And, the whole story of he gets weakened because of his stupidity, blah, 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 his arrogance, or whatever you want to say. I'm not going to go into Star Wars because that's a whole nother rant. But essentially, they're...
Which I'd be down to spend an episode doing by one day.
I don't mind. Because I feel like I'm going to say something wrong, and you're going to be like, hold on, motherfucker.
I'll jump in. I've been waiting.
Yeah.
I've been sitting over here like a fucking bomb.
Right.
Ready to go.
But
I like what you're saying so far.
Right.
Yeah.
So, like, the more and more I hear about it, I haven't heard a single good thing other than what Jamie has said to me.
Gotcha.
And keep in mind, I don't even know if Jamie was the one that said it to me. I'm just saying Jamie because I believe it was her.
Mm. She might watch it because her son might watch it. Or
maybe.
Something. Yeah.
Maybe. But you were saying, because I don't want to jump in.
No, I feel like this needs to be said in a public space where the Acolyte is garbage. And I'm really glad the steps that the fans have taken so far in rising up against it. Because someone like you, who, since I would guess 2016, has not had any enjoyment in Star Wars, has heard about how bad it's getting and how it's ruining everyone's lives since the 1970s. Like,
I'm just saying.
That's how bad it's getting.
If Star Wars is ruining your life, get away from it.
fuck you. It's
Like,
my life.
Stop it. Stop hurting yourself on purpose.
I have to. So for those listening, I am an avid Star Wars fanatic. My dad literally almost named me like a Star Wars name if I wasn't named after my father's father's father. Like, you know, I was indoctrinated into, I think I'm like the fifth. Legit. We don't have the same name, but it's all triple T's, which is pretty cool. My middle name is Tyler, by the way. So,
I forgot that.
You did?
Yeah.
Why?
Why the fuck would I remember? I don't even have a middle
Bro,
name.
it's like 1 out of 5 important things about me.
I don't even have a middle name.
I'm not that special without it. So, my dad raised me on Star Wars from the moment I was born.
I don't like knowing that you're a Tyler.
It's my middle name.
You don't look like a Tyler.
I don't. I look like Ching Chong Ling Long, but I don't know what
Exactly.
you want me to say.
Continue.
You know, they're in the trees.
Like,
So-
I'm comfortable with seeing you as a Thomas because I can see the white pride in you. But a Tyler kind of just seems like...
Yeah, I get you. Like if you go to California and some bitch named Ty has like dreads, but he's white and is skateboarding on the side of the road.
I'm not seeing you as like that hippie with the fucking big ass beer.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not seeing you like that.
People named Tyler are assholes.
Like, you know Nick?
I know of Nick.
Right? Nick.
He could be Tyler.
Nick could be a Tyler.
I agree with you.
Like 100%.
Yeah.
I could never see you as that. But yeah, go ahead.
I get you.
Sorry.
That's a fair side note.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck Nick. So I miss him. So
he came to my wedding.
We replaced him with McLean.
Oh, dude.
Low-key, we kind of replaced him with McLean.
I think that is the most hilarious thing ever. Like,
he talks about it sometimes to me.
Yeah.
So you guys talking to McLean and stuff? I'm like, yeah, bitch.
So this is a side note before he goes into it.
I like it.
We have a friend. His name's Nick. He introduced us to this other guy whose name is McLean, which we've mentioned in a previous video. And he has become a prominent friend who shows up to almost all of our fucking gatherings.
He lives far, too.
And he
lives like 2 hours away.
He lives like an hour and a half. That's a
long time without traffic.
He makes his fucking way to any of the fucking events. And every single time, we invite Nick to everything. And Nick does not show up to anything. He just says, yeah, I'll be there. And then he's like, no, I'm not going. Like the day of. Every single fucking time. The only time he didn't do it was for my wedding, and which is beautiful, right? But yeah, go ahead.
No, I like it.
Back to Star Wars.
Well, I just want to mention in a public space that, you know, in a wide domain, is what I mean, like a Spotify domain.
Sure.
That it needs to be said that the fans need to keep stepping up, because it's getting to a point where, like, it's. So as I was saying, I was raised on Star Wars. Like, literally, I could quote everything. I could quote what fucking time music starts. You know what I mean? Like, it was like the fucking Holy Bible for me. You know, it was indoctrinated in me. And growing up, even when I learned that Star Wars is kind of dumb, or like, you know, some other stuff, or whatever, I'm still...
There are too many fans for it to be dumb.
It's not dumb.
I'll say that, right?
Yeah.
Like, there are people who believe it's dumb because they, like, follow sports and shit.
Sure,
and
now
like,
I see what you're saying.
Sports is reality, blah,
right.
blah. But...
The Bachelor.
To other people, sports are dumb. You know?
You're totally right. So I don't mean to say dumb. I mean to say...
You can still say it.
Star Wars is a little too make-believe to be really good.
Gotcha.
But it's so good in its own way.
Amazing.
And stole from Dune. I'm not going to get there. So...
Stole from Dune.
So... basically, in the last few years, Disney has purchased Star Wars and has basically been slowly but surely ruining the franchise until they hire people who actually are Star Wars fans, and that's when you get good content. And it doesn't matter how many mistakes they make, like Disney, they like the numbers and the reviews consistently show when you have people that are dedicated to Star Wars, lifelong fans, you know, actors that know their stuff. The show is better. You get more merch sales. You know what I mean? You make more money. Like, for example, Star Wars The Clone Wars was written, directed, and acted out by a lot, like 90% are Star Wars fans, including Dave Filoni and stuff like that, okay?
Gotcha.
When you hire random people based on maybe one or two good things they gave you, like a script or whatever it may be, previous work, because of their social standing, such as they are a prominent leader in the LGBTQ community. The qua. I like saying it now instead of LGBTQA. I like to say legitimate qua because I think it's from like a Vine or something, but it's funny.
I'm sure it was some form of joke.
It's some sort of TikTok or whatever. So the legitimate qua community, like you're a leader in that, or if you are publicly known on a platform such as like Instagram as somebody who is basically Disney has been doing this for like the last 10 years or however long they bought it, of trying to capture the audience that is not the Star Wars audience. But it's not working, and no matter how many times they fuck up, they keep repeating it. And now it's gotten to the point where they've created possibly the worst rendition of a Star Wars show ever made. And there was stuff that came out back in, I think, the 80s, like, some of the Ewok movies were good, but there was something, I think it was a Star Wars Christmas special, that was known to be, like, one of the worst things ever created. Like, fans rioted over this. This is back in the 80s, too.
It's now better than that.
It's better than the Acolyte show that's out. That's how bad this is getting. And for the fact that you, as a previous fan of Star Wars, I'll say, like you know what I mean, you still like it, but you're not prominent in it. To know from word of mouth of other people or social media how bad the Acolyte is, it's terrible. It's scary of how bad it's getting. And I was one of the people that gave The Last Jedi a chance, which was the last of the Skywalker saga movies to come out, where they basically already did say fuck you to Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Or at least the Skywalker name, they butchered it.
Mm-hmm.
Still, at the end of the day, the movies were not as bad as a lot of people said. Now, as a Star Wars fan, I thought they were terrible. But I could sit there and I could pretend to like them enough to where I get it. There's some
Never
good
watched
stuff.
them.
You don't, I don't do it.
I think I saw one part because I went to a friend's house who was watching it, and it was one of the fight scenes, and I think it was the fight scene between that guy with the really big nose and
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
And
the main character that's the girl.
Right.
And they're like running through the woods or something.
Okay, so maybe The Force Awakens, the first one.
I wouldn't know.
Of those three.
But they were running through the woods, and it kind of seemed like at any time Kylo Ren
could have killed her. Oh, yeah, you're getting me.
But, all bad, evil people do that. Like, I think...
The chase. They enjoy the chase.
It's the chase that's the funnest part for
them. They don't want to kill him just yet.
Right.
They need information or something.
But when he did grab her or something...
Yeah, he force-held her.
He said, fuck it, I'm now done.
Yeah, I'm done chasing you, yeah.
I got you. I think she did something to him to read his mind or something.
Yeah, that sounds right.
And he immediately went... and went retard on us. And she got away.
I don't remember that. But
or some shit like that.
Something like that.
She gets away.
I think so.
But I don't remember how exactly.
No, she doesn't get away. She gets captured, but she gets out later.
Okay. Because I didn't really watch it, you know?
No, it's just in the background for you.
She fucking gets like Vietnam flashbacks or something, and then...
Yes.
She
does start getting
he's like
force
mentally
visions.
fucked up, and then he goes back to his ship or something. I guess he did capture her. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I know she's like
you're getting the gist.
Literally, like after she's captured, she's literally gone.
Yeah,
like she gets captured, thrown in her cell, and within 5 minutes, she's like, "Well, I guess I have a key," and gets out. I don't know how she does it.
She mind tricks a stormtrooper.
Okay. Cool.
Simpler than that.
That sounds cool.
For sure.
But it's just, that was like...
You can tell.
Like
you can tell. There's too much room. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I get, Jedis are like considered like the strongest beings for the most part.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's other shit in the universe that could be stronger.
She has no training.
Right. She doesn't know how to do any of that shit.
Yeah.
Because that's before she met, what's his name? Luke. Yeah, well, I should know that motherfucker.
You fucking almost pissed me off right there.
But that's before, because I know that's before that. I never saw the movie, but but during that time, I asked questions, right? I was like, hey, is Luke in this one? They're like, yeah, but he's not here yet. And I'm like, oh, so like what? She's just doing whatever she wants? It's like, yeah, her and this black guy. And I'm like, who's the black guy? He's like, I don't know. He's just some dude that has a fucking lightsaber. Or the fucking sword. And I'm like, oh.
Great character, by the way.
I'm like, oh, cool. So anyone can use one of those? And I'm like, because I didn't know that.
For sure.
But apparently, anyone can use that sword.
Anyone could technically pick up a lightsaber.
Like, it's not just for Jedi.
No, if the kyber crystal is force sensitive, it will work with anybody. Like, if it's activated is what I'm trying to say.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Because I always thought that it was their ability that brought it to life, and then they got it.
It helps.
Right, because they could empower their blades.
That's right.
So it was just a normal blade, you know? But I'm like, well, if he's fighting other Jedi, wouldn't he just get his ass beat?
You'd think so. But I will say that part was a little dumb.
Because at any point in time, he doesn't have the ability to be like, get back!
Ooh, yeah.
You know? Like
that's kind of what made his character a little cool, though. Was the fact that he had Anakin's lightsaber, and he's just a stormtrooper without this, you know.
Right.
And he was like,
I think that's a cool
great concept. Yeah.
But I think he should have been put in his place anytime he tried to face...
Sooner than he should have. Yeah.
Right.
There was a scene where in the forest later, he strikes Kylo Ren with a saber. And you're kind of like, that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
How could he ever?
Kylo does take him down right after that. He gets serious.
Oh, like he kills him? Or
no, but he takes him down.
Okay.
Basically, he sabers him really fucking bad. Like, you think he dies.
Gotcha.
Which was great. Okay. Because, like, there's a part where you're like, you see Kylo go, oh, you touched me, now I'm pissed, and he basically almost kills him.
Right, because from what I understand, Kylo believes he's the strongest now.
Yeah.
And...
trained by Luke Skywalker, and now a Sith.
Right.
He's like, shit.
I am what governs the world now.
For sure.
Because that's what I took
the galaxy.
From it.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good analogy of how he thinks.
See, I kind of want to watch it now just so that I can get a better understanding. Because I don't like talking about something that I don't know anything
For sure.
about.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to go through the effort.
I don't want you to either, because you're going to be disappointed.
Fair enough.
I will say, the Force Awakens is actually not bad.
From what I know, a lot of people did like Kylo Ren as a character.
I liked him a lot.
But a lot of people used to say that he had, like, daddy issues.
Yeah.
Like...
no, he's got, like, well, yeah, he's got daddy issues.
Well, his teacher issues or whatever.
Both.
Like, because, you know, your teacher is your father in this world.
Can I tell you something that pisses me off? Because this is still the podcast of people that piss people off.
Yeah.
Okay. This is not too much of a side note. This is about Star Wars, The Force Awakens.
Cool.
That movie. Bro, I was in high school getting out and about to go see this movie the next day. I think it was coming out on a Friday. This was Thursday. There were early showings for people on Wednesday or something like that. This is way back in like 2015, I think. Or you know what I mean? Whatever. Bro, there was this kid that went to my high school that saw the movie early. And he was telling people at school what happened in the movie. Like, spoilers. And me, lifelong Star Wars fan, avoided this kid as much as possible. Like, I never saw him. We don't even share classes together. I think we were in the same age group, but we don't have classes together. He's a little fucktard. As I was leaving the school, walking towards my car in the student parking lot.
Yeah.
This little motherfucker, by the way, he walked pigeon-toed. So he was walking, penguin-toed. So he's walking to me like this, like a fucking bird. Running towards me, goes, hey Thomas, hey Thomas. I think he was calling me Tommy, because I think back then I was going by Tommy. I don't remember. And I go, hey man, what's up? And I didn't really think about it. And he goes, I heard you're really excited for the Star Wars thing. Like, this was back when phones were becoming a real deal, the iPhone. So I was posting on, like, I think I had Instagram back then.
Yeah, I think during that time I had, like, a BlackBerry.
Yeah, like, the phones were becoming more prominent.
They were just, like, it was half touchscreen, half keyboard. Yeah. And then I think I got a Sidekick after that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever had one.
Yeah,
it was touchscreen, but then you could click it and be like...
They're so fun. I love the BlackBerries when they came out.
My brother fucking destroyed it.
Bitch.
So what happened was, it used to be his, right? And then he gave it to me for a bit of time, and I was just using it. And then he was like, hey, I need it back. And then, like, the day I gave it back to him, I just remember him in my room messaging somebody, and then he was like, son of a bitch! And he just fucking threw it against the wall, and it exploded. And I was like, whatever. You know, 'cause I didn't give a fuck.
Oh, that's sad, though.
I switched back to my other phone, and I was like, whatever.
So this little penguin comes running at me. Happy Feet, okay? We'll call him Happy Feet, because I don't remember his name.
Cool.
If I ever see him again...
Was he Mexican?
No, he was, I think he was Lebanese.
Okay.
He looked pretty white, but I know he was Lebanese, because this was in a part...
I only asked if he was Mexican, because I went to a Hispanic school, and I would have punched him.
That was not allowed at this school. They were very serious on school fights.
Well, yeah, because you're white.
There you go.
You're not allowed to hit anything that has color.
So
I'm sure you still found your way to bully people, because I had a buddy that was named it's not Tom. Yeah, another Thomas I know. They used to bully this Arabic kid. He explained it to me.
Do you think I was a bully in high school?
No.
I wasn't.
But I know another Thomas. And
okay.
He
don't associate me with that Thomas.
He used to play tennis, so like he was really white.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
He was on a
That's pretty white.
Yeah, he was on a tennis team, and apparently this Arabic kid joined their tennis team, and they used to like they would say, "Hey, we're all gonna take turns playing, blah blah blah." So what they would do is for new recruits, they would pretty much say, "You have to verse all of us."
Okay.
Right? So one guy, all of them would have a ball, throw it, smack it as hard as they can into him, and they would just like beat him with balls, and they would do that shit like every day to him, and they would be like, "It's just a part of your initiation." Turns out that initiation didn't end for like a whole fucking year. Like, bitch, that's
kind of fucked up.
You just beat that motherfucker with balls.
Yeah. Tennis balls, I'm sure is fine.
And I'm sure there were new recruits, but they kept beating him. Like,
that's fuck, man.
And he told me, he was like, "Listen, I didn't specifically hate this guy or anything, but this is just what we did." I was like, "That's fucking racist, dog.
That
like,
is
what
racist.
do you mean?"
That's a little
it's
fucked
like,
up.
You don't just join in. You say something. He's like, "Yeah, but then I would have been one of the ones standing next to him, and I'm not getting hit."
There you go.
And I'm like, fair enough.
You for the many. I don't know what she's doing. Yeah. I was gonna warn you, but I thought it would look good for the camera.
No, she would have took a bite out of me.
There.
She would have ripped a hole in my shirt.
Yeah, I didn't know what she was trying to do. I was like, is she trying to climb on you?
No.
But I liked that she was in the shot, so I didn't say shit. And then when she started to reach with the big eye, I was like, hey.
So I tried giving her that peanut earlier, and she didn't want to eat it.
Hey, yeah. She's like kind of just fucking with it. Oh, there she goes.
Okay, yeah, she's going to eat it now.
All right, so Pigeon
she didn't eat
walks
it.
over to me. Man, what is she doing? She's looking at me, dude.
She's just posing now.
Aw, cute. Oh.
Oh yeah, she's looking at you.
Yeah, she's looking at me. No, she's not.
She just huffed. No, like she did like a...
God. Oh. What are you doing? So, Happy Feet runs over to me as I'm like literally 100 feet from my car. And I can't. Houdini is just like biting into you right now. I'd be scared. That thing's beak is crazy. Do you remember when I came over one time and she was biting my my ring?
Yeah.
That was the first time I met her. It was freaking me out.
Yeah.
Well, like, I think I've met her before, but I didn't see her out of the cage. So anyways.
She was just nibbling. She wasn't like hard
trying to get your attention. Oh, there it goes.
The camera just moved on her. Yeah.
Mascot. All right, so he runs over to me. He literally goes, "Hey, Han Solo dies." And I was like, Han Solo, by the way, one of the most prominent characters of, Star Wars. And I go, "Oh, that's so funny, blah, 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 haha." And he goes, No, I'm serious. He dies in the movie. That's a spoiler. And he runs away. And I thought about running him over with my car. Because at first I thought he was joking with me. Because I think I told other people to tell him I will literally fight him if he spoils the movie for me. Because Star Wars is so... I was a Star Wars kid at school. I had an Imperial... I had a Stormtrooper backpack, with the Imperial symbol on it. Like, that was my go-to school backpack. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
I was the Star Wars kid at school. So, when I saw the movie Friday night, I literally almost killed him. But guess when that movie came out? Like, literally the start of summer vacation.
Oh, okay.
Like, I think that was the last week of school.
Right after it was...
I never saw him again.
Never saw him again? I
think it was... I graduated in 2016, so maybe it was like...
Oh, okay. I graduated 2013.
Yeah, you're old. Fuck. I don't remember why I never saw him again. I think because I started early college. I didn't go to high school my senior year, pretty much. I went to college. I was going to say the college, now I don't want to. But... Dude, I don't know what the fuck she's doing.
She's like
growling. Distracting the shit out of me.
She's like growling in my ear.
I love that the camera moved over.
Like she's trying to talk to me.
About what?
I don't know.
Something about Star Wars?
But she's excited enough because before, she's been on the floor the whole time.
Yeah.
Because I gave her something to play with. Because like I'll give her cardboard all the time.
Yeah.
But it's been like a long time since I've given her like cardboard. So like Lately I've been giving her wood. So, like, she's had bad habits now of, like, biting into my door, biting on my desk.
Oh, that sucks.
Because I would give her really hard wood.
And you think it'd be great.
Right.
Right.
And, you know, it's good for her because it helps her trim her beak and stuff. And, you know, but I gave her the toy box so that she can just shred it up, have as much fun as she wants.
Right.
And, you know, she's having a good time. She likes it. Yeah. That's why she's been down there the whole time. But yeah, now she's just whistling.
It's kind of cute.
I don't know why she's doing this, but she left her pile of...
I think she wants
right now on the ground, there is a pile of trash box, just a box just shredded. As much as she could shred it. There you go. And she just kind of like kicked it all around, and now she came back up here.
I think she just wants pets. You know what I mean? She seems like she just wants your hand. Oh, she's gonna go for it. Like, here you go.
There you go.
Yeah, oh, she likes that. No, maybe not.
It's
hard to tell.
So there are hard feathers that populate behind her head.
Yeah.
That there's this little, like, I don't know how to explain it, but when the feathers first grow, they have like a hard shell on them.
For sure.
They're supposed to break over time and come off.
And the blood helps push to grow them.
And then the feathers pop out, right? Well, behind her neck, it's really difficult for them to come out because she can't chew them herself just in case.
You're going to pop your teeth out.
Whatever. So sometimes I'll go behind her head and I'll break them for her.
Nice.
And then those feathers will, you know, puff out, become prominent. Yeah, she tried to bite me.
She almost went there.
But...
There you go. There you go. Fuck off.
She'll pretty much do that. Oh, she's going back down.
She's so funny.
She's going back to her pile. I'm actually glad she went on camera because like,
no, that was great.
This whole time she hasn't been there.
No, and I'm glad that the first real video podcast.
Yeah,
she's there. She's prominent.
Well, technically, the first video we have
in the bio,
she's in it like the whole time.
That's true. In the bio of this one, can you put that little timeline of fast forward here for a moment to see? You know what I mean, like something.
Bird attack Kyle.
Yeah. I almost killed that guy. If I ever see him again in public, because I still know he lives in Michigan and whereabouts. I think I would publicly beat the shit out of him. Allegedly, I'm gonna say that right now.
Okay.
Because he ruined the movie for me.
Gotcha.
When I saw that part and tears hit myself, I knew when the scene was starting what was gonna happen.
Right. And you saw the fight. And
I saw it coming.
Wait a minute.
This is it.
He told me this.
Yep. Like, seriously.
That sucks.
So my dad, who was sitting next to me, because he'll go to anything Star Wars with me, we'll watch anything Star Wars together, right? He was, like, literally like this. Like, he was like, man. Like, watching it with me and, like, tears in his eyes, right? I couldn't be there with him because it was spoiled for me. And I was so mad. And after the movie, I told my dad.
He would have had on you the whole time.
Yeah. I was literally, like... insane. I was so angry at this guy, and I've never seen him since. And I think if I ever did, I literally have his name memorized. I would fucking
cuss him out.
I'd break his legs so they fit, so that he walks straight.
If you ever watch this podcast or you see this YouTube video, fuck you.
No, dude, it's like it was something that stuck with me.
You did that to him. He will live with this for the rest of his life. I hope you feel good about yourself because I could never do that to him.
You're jealous?
And I'm jealous.
Going back to the Acolyte real quick. Literally the worst show ever. As fans in this public space, we need to keep making that very known. Fans have been speaking out nonstop. The writers, I believe, got fired from new projects. I believe they've canceled a season 2 of the show already.
Gotcha.
And it's only 4 episodes out. Number 5
I was going to say one little side note for that. The main person... hired a bunch of... From what I heard, the main person hired a bunch of people to help her create this that didn't actually know anything about
I have also
Star
heard
Wars.
this, yes.
I don't know if it's true, but...
that's the rumor.
There is a YouTuber who I watch who, like, covers anything, right?
Yeah.
And
one of those people that speaks.
Right.
Like, you know.
And it's just like
on the news today.
Like,
blah, blah, blah,
yeah,
blah.
I don't like watching the news because the news only ever shows you bad things.
No, I like those influencers that tell you.
There's this one. I'm not going to name his thing yet.
For sure.
But
I think I know who you're talking about.
Maybe not, because he's not that popular.
Okay.
But he gets a lot of flack because a lot of people say like he hates gay people, he hates all this stuff. He doesn't. He just hates what they're creating.
I agree with that.
And let me explain. He's like, everybody thinks I'm a bigot and all this stuff because I'm pointing out how bad something a gay person technically created. But if they had created something good, I would be complimenting them right
I
now.
agree with that statement.
That's what he was saying.
Yeah.
And like, people hate him because of how he talks, right?
Right.
Because he doesn't hold back. He's not sexist or anything.
No, but it's the way he's addressing things,
But
which is
it's
how
how
I was
he
saying.
says it.
Exactly, like when I was saying the short
fucked up.
film, how I loved it. It was fabulous. It's gay. It's whatever.
Right.
But the gays in the back
Yeah.
need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I understand,
Continue.
but he showed a clip where it was some lady who I think was the head writer, and it was
her interview.
Yeah, there was like an interview, and she specifically says, "Oh yeah, I 100% wanted to just like I don't know if she was talking sarcastically,
No,
but she was like, I just wanted to rip this thing to shreds and create my own brand new take for the series."
R2D2 is a lesbian.
What?
Oh, this is what she said in that same interview, or another one.
She did?
Bro.
How?
No. That's not even the worst of it.
We're not going to question.
We're not going to say anymore.
Okay.
I'm going to go longer on this rant.
Whatever.
Yeah.
But she says that, and then one of the people who was with her in the interview was they said, "Yeah, I got hired in, but I have no idea anything about Star Wars, but I'm figuring out the story right now." And I'm like, "The fuck? What do you mean you don't like? Are you going to do research like
before you get in your role?"
Well, he wasn't in the series. He's writing it.
Man,
so it's like
even worse.
So it's like that thought, like you got a writer on your team who doesn't know anything about
like not a thing,
right?
Like it's crazy.
So one of the things that do piss me off is when you have an actor who loves their role so much that they want to portray the character of that. So like, say it's a book franchise.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yes, Ryan Reynolds is the exact like representation you could say. I'm not going to use him. I'm going to say the guy from The Witcher.
Thank you. Yes, you are 100% correct. Henry Cavill. And the fact that people say it was for other reasons. We all know he left The Witcher season 4 because they kept changing the script. And they did not follow along with the books and the games.
Right.
True to the character.
So he was a true fan.
Absolutely.
To The Witcher, and he loved the story.
Everything.
And he's like, hey.
He's so sexy.
Oh my god. Like, I ain't gay, but I got gay tendencies.
I am gay.
Like, whatever.
Go ahead.
I have a side note. It's a story about John, just so that we can talk about John later.
What?
What? We'll get back to it. But yeah, what was the guy's name again that we just said? Henry Cavill.
Okay.
Henry Cavill, he loves his role so much. Like, he's played the games. He's like read the books. Yep. He's in the content. He knows it through and through.
Yep.
And he does the first season. It's a fucking amazing
It's a hit.
Every fucking buddy loves it.
It wasn't. The only thing that was bad about it was the timeline thing because they kept doing episodes in different order.
Run some shit, move some shit around.
They did the future and the past.
Yeah,
and whatever.
I understand it.
But that was it. Everything else was perfect.
And then season 2 came out.
Even better.
And they made some changes. They got it going. It was fucking good. I liked it. And then the 3rd season came. And they turned his character into like a bitch.
Yes.
And not like, you're calling a woman a bitch or something. Like, they just made him take the biggest backseat in the world.
I agree with you.
Like, he was the main character.
He is.
He is the story.
Yeah.
And they were like, we want this little girl to now become the main story. Now, I know she plays a prominent role.
She's literally like the second character.
Right. Yeah.
She's Siri. Yeah.
She is the second character who's supposed to be something bigger than what it is. But
The way they did it.
The way that they did it was they killed his character.
Basically killed him off.
Just to make this character cooler.
Right.
And I watched it and I was just like, man, what the fuck's going on? I didn't watch the very season after that. I couldn't do it.
It's not out yet.
Or not. Yes. So I couldn't finish that season, is what I meant to say.
I see what you're saying.
So, like, as I watched it, I slowly watched him just essentially become a ghost of what he was.
Yeah.
And you know, when I'm a fan of something, I listen to podcasts about it. I listen to videos.
I want to hear other people's opinions.
I want all these opinions.
Right.
And, like, he himself had issues with that season.
Yeah, he was fighting with the writers the whole time.
I literally could not get a word in. They were saying to me, if I didn't just follow through, they would just swap me out. And I'm like, fucking do it.
Do it.
The fans will fucking hate your series.
Look what happened. Yeah. Nobody wants to watch Liam Hemsworth as The Witcher. Yeah. Not saying anything bad about the actor.
Right.
Not saying anything about
I don't think he'll do a bad job.
I don't either. But I'm not going to watch it.
I think who they first put in that role was...
It's perfect!
They literally nailed it. Perfect. On the very first try. They were like...
Everybody watched it.
I'll say this. I'm sure they went through like hundreds of people who they were like... Oh, is this person good? Is this person good?
But when Superman auditions for The Witcher...
walks in... Oh my god.
And he says, I know everything about The Witcher.
Right.
I played the game over 300 hours.
Because you know the first two seasons... They're literally talking to him, hey, how do you think this scene should play out?
Yes, and he would be like, well, you know, in book Blood of the Elves, blah, 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 this, and that.
Right. And it's like, boom, that's fucking amazing.
Amazing.
Great. They're taking his opinion. Nowadays, that doesn't happen.
What changed?
Like, they literally hear the person, so like, what was it? Anakin? No,
okay.
Not Anakin, it was the other fucker.
Luke?
Luke.
Okay.
So like, Luke... You know, he went with from what I've listened to.
Are you talking about with the new movies? What
yes.
Mark Hamill said about his character and how they basically like ruined his whole story? They basically
ruined him.
Got it. Yeah,
but
I'm with you.
He has said that he is okay with the way that the story went. I feel like they kind of paid him to say that, but he has said that they essentially gutted his character.
They ruined his character.
And they made him just nothing.
Yeah. He's like, that's not my Luke Skywalker.
Right.
That's not me.
Like, that's not who I was.
Yeah.
If I could change this, I would. And I asked.
Right.
And they said no.
Exactly.
Like, they're not taking the opinion of... Like, I get it. So, like, there's a fine line between the writer, the actor, and the director.
Yes.
Right? There's a fine line.
And the producers that pay for everything.
Right. But there's got to be, like, that leeway because the guy who's played in the role for X amount of years should say, hey, that shouldn't happen. Or,
right.
Not that it shouldn't happen, but maybe let me take it in a different route.
Let me show you how this would work.
Right.
It's literally what they say.
Right.
And I don't understand why in the moment nobody in a room full of, like, 20 people says, you know what, that's not a good idea.
Right.
When they see the backlash.
I get... See, that's the biggest thing, too, because it's like...
It always happens.
They'll see it, and they'll be like, oh...
It'll be fine.
So, I don't want to say this is how everything is now, but there always has to be a gay person in any show now.
And I don't want to say it either, but it has to be said that the agendas that are being pushed and the... You know what I mean? The politics that they put into new sci-fi fantasy worlds and stuff like that has nothing to do with the world,
right?
Really ruins a lot of stuff,
right?
Which is another thing that the Acolyte is known for.
Yeah. So it's like for me, like I'm cool with any like gay agendas and stuff, but you gotta make the story sound good.
You have to.
You gotta make it look good. Like
you don't need to push things.
This person's a lesbian, right?
Right.
She can be as gay as she wants to be. I don't
care.
She can be as flamboyant as she wants to be. She can be as serious as she wants to be.
Absolutely.
But she's got to be a good character.
Dude.
Like, you can't play a story and just be like, well, this character's like this, and then completely swap it the next episode and be like, now she's like this.
Yes.
Unless you tell me she's bipolar.
Or if you change original writings to fit that agenda. That bothers the fucking shit out of me.
Like, well, you know, there's a lot of, for this story, there's so much that was changed.
Right.
There's so much that, from what I've heard, so like I'm not keeping up with it at all. Like the guy that I listen to, he goes
talking about The Witcher.
No, I went back to the Star Wars.
Okay, go ahead.
But whatever.
I was making sure we were on the same boat.
But yeah, what I was trying to get at was that people who love what they do, they're now just getting thrown.
They're getting thrown out for the quote unquote popular opinion.
Right, for the popular opinion. But then the popular opinion that's coming back to them is stop making this trash.
This is horrible. Yeah.
And it's not just all of the straight white males, right?
No.
It's not. There's thousands of people from the gay community.
Yeah.
There's thousands of people from like straight
race,
community.
You know,
there's
whatever.
Other different races who are like, dude, you're building trash right now.
Right.
Like, there's so many other shows who do like fucking like Empire. Okay. There's gay characters in Empire.
For sure.
Right? They do those characters so fucking good. Right?
Yeah, because they're normal people. And they don't throw things around.
Right. Yeah. They're not there are some left turns that kind of like get you wondering like what the fuck is this even happening for?
Sure.
But that's to add the little drama. Yeah. But it's like within the universe drama.
For sure, that's great.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. I get what you're saying.
I know we're like on a real serious point right now because we're on some.
We're not. We're ranting about stuff that makes us angry, and that's when our pop culture and our nerdiness gets ruined by political and economical and emotional dramas that happen in reality.
Right. The only thing that really
did you fucking hear that? I'm on, dude. I was.
Oh yeah, dude.
We're on it.
You pulled that shit.
Like
the one thing that I do really hate right now is when you hear the majority say, "Hey, this should be fixed." Yeah. And then you hear the
creators.
No, not the creators, but the people who aren't the majority who are saying this is actually good, right? You're siding with the people who are saying it's the creators are like, oh, all those other people who are complaining are just bigots. They hate all this bullshit.
They're racist.
They're all racist. Yeah. They're all white cis male. Like they just come up with random bullshit to make it sound like they do because what they want to make is God's work at this point.
For sure.
Even though everybody's like, dude, your shit sucks.
It sucks. Yeah.
And there have been some shows that I have to like question about certain scenes.
Like, why is it there?
Yeah, like, did this really need to be there?
Yeah. And it's not stuff that makes you uncomfortable. I don't care. I'll watch guys kiss all day. I'm into it.
I'll watch them.
I'm a little hard.
I don't give a fuck.
But I get concerned when they start speaking about it with other people and they start... Have you ever seen that TikTok or that, like, short of... There's this Transformers animation that came out on Netflix. Is for kids.
Yes.
Where
I know
one of the Transformers goes... Or another Transformer is speaking about another Transformer where they're going, actually, something bots pronouns are they, them. And like everybody's nodding in the group. It's for kids, by the way.
Right.
For adolescents. And the other Transformer is like, I just don't feel comfortable with he, him pronouns. I've always felt like they is good for me. And the problem is that this is in a show that's for 3-year-olds.
That's understood.
I don't give a fuck if you go by they, them. I'll respect it. Don't be throwing that shit and then you, like, literally, here's, what I'm trying to explain is they paint a picture of this kid in the middle of a bunch of robots. All the robots are nodding at this kid like, that's right. You call her they, them, or whatever, right?
Right.
And then the kid's like, oh, that makes sense. I should respect everybody. And I'm like, yeah, you should, but you know who should be teaching you that? Your parents. You
Fair.
know who shouldn't be teaching you that to the whole world that's watching this Netflix fucking
Optimus
animation?
Prime.
The children, man. You know what I mean?
So
that was really funny, by the way.
Yeah.
I was trying not to crack.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
So I just want to say this part. What you just said, I think, is hilarious because for that to be in the whole what is that shit called? Optimus Prime bullshit. What is Transformers? That's the word.
You were trying to say Transformers this whole time.
This whole time. I was having some sort of fucking. I couldn't figure it out. But in the Transformers universe, I know there are female robots, male robots.
Sure.
But it like whenever you're watching it, like I'm not a Transformers fan at all.
Are you not?
No, I actually hate Transformers with a passion.
Wow, I thought you'd be into that.
I think Transformers as an idea is fucking awesome.
Why does my voice sound like this right now?
I don't know.
Oh, I'm very dry. Go ahead.
You want a drink? I got a drink.
I did, but I didn't want to interrupt, and I didn't want to get up, fuck with the camera.
Yeah, the camera would get moved around.
Exactly. So I will suffer for the next 30 minutes.
Whatever.
Yeah, no problem.
But what I was trying to say was, everything that I've ever, because I've seen every Transformers movie. Like, Pelos will not allow me to not see it, right?
I figured.
So,
yeah.
I go and I watch it with him because that's my boy. I'm going to fucking support him in his endeavors regardless. I don't ever remember them ever giving a shit about gender.
Mm-mm.
Like, you're a fucking Autobot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a fucking Autobot.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're male or female, we got a motherfucker to kill.
Yeah.
That's how, like, it's supposed to seem like, right?
Yeah.
Because in reality, they do have their own version of mating. They have their own version.
Which I don't know how they do it.
But I don't think they need male or female to mate.
I don't think so either.
Like, Optimus and Bumblebee, I think, can literally just do what they gotta do to create something.
All I know is that there's a spark. I don't know what else.
They're supposed to create something, or I don't know how they're created, but I don't think it's by...
It's not procreation.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not by gender-wise.
Right.
Right? So, like, when you're saying that, I'm like, of all the fucking shows to put that in
exactly, that's what I'm saying.
Is fucking Transformers, like...
Like, what the fuck are you doing? You're throwing it into robots, first of all.
Right.
Which is another thing that not Kathleen Kennedy, I forgot who the writer is of Acolyte, but where she said in the interview, nah, it's canon, I think R2-D2 is a lesbian, or whatever. And it's like the way she said it...
So, like...
She said it as almost a joke, but
she's not the original voice, right?
Of...
Like, whoever created R2-D2, right?
No.
The guy, I'm forgetting his name. George Lucas. He created it. He technically could be like, yeah, she's right. Or, no. Right?
Right.
But she just randomly said that one day.
In an interview.
And now that's canon because she said that?
Kyle, it's gotten to the point where... So, I'm going to tell you right now, this new show, The Acolyte, it's about 100 or so years before... like the Clone Wars?
Yes.
So
before.
It's before the Phantom Menace.
A prequel.
You got it.
Gotcha.
Yep. Because, the prequels are episodes 1 through 3.
Yes.
It's 100 years before that.
100 years
before. So I'm going
to
tell you right now, there is a character in...
Damn, and some of those characters could still be alive. Because they're all weird aliens.
Only one of them, which is Yoda. Yoda can live up to 900 years. His species. That's why in Return of the Jedi, with Luke Skywalker... He dies. He fades away.
I thought, because I remember watching the video of the guy, and he mentioned that there is a guy.
You're getting it.
There's a Jedi.
Yes.
Who they used.
Yes.
Who dies in, like 100 years later or some shit.
Yes. Listen to me, motherfucker. This is the shit that's gonna get me angry.
Oh, okay.
There's this fucking Jedi Master. His name is Ki-Adi-Mundi. He's not that great of a character.
He's the one that has like the dickhead.
Literally a dickhead. And he's actually, like, Loki, he's kind of a dickhead in the Clone Wars and in the prequels.
Well, I remember in the movie he dies really easy.
The clones shoot him. He gets betrayed by his own squad.
Right. Like, and he doesn't see it coming or
right.
something.
Like, that's how they get all the Jedi. It's a surprise because they trust the clones for so long. Because the whole Clone Wars is the Jedi and the clones work together. That's the big twist.
I get that
Order
part.
66, yeah.
So, like, I remember seeing that when I was young and all that. But I remember, like, thinking to myself, I'm like, aren't these Jedi right now patrolling and they're, like, on... Like, they're in their mindset.
They're in the zone.
They're like, I'm ready for a fight.
That's why, like, 100 Jedi survive.
Oh, okay.
The Purge is what they call it.
Gotcha.
Now, I'll tell you, the whole reason why that whole thing is crazy and that's what makes episodes 4 through 6 make sense, why the Empire took over.
Yeah.
Is because it was, first of all, a surprise.
Yeah.
And
I get it. Like, 9,000... if I made friends with you...
Yeah. And then
I was and I'm like, well, this is my buddy. Let's go to the bar real quick. And then you stabbed me all of a sudden, just randomly.
I would do it.
I'm like, oh!
Tell me about the rabbits, Lenny. I would, that's why 9,900 of the Jedi died and only 100 survived. Because the ones that survived were either 1, hiding, 2, away from the Republic, or 3, they were the best fighters in the galaxy.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. So anyways, long story short, Ki-Adi-Mundi was first introduced in, I believe, A Phantom Menace, episode 1. And then he goes throughout the Clone Wars and he dies in episode 3. He dies by his own clones.
Right.
There's like a scene of it. They put him in the Acolyte, or at least a member of his species. So when I watched the episode...
so it's not necessarily him?
Listen, when I watched the episode, and all the fans were watching the episode, like my dad, we were like, holy shit, it's one of Ki-Adi-Mundi's people. Like, you never see his people. Like, I think there's a comic one time where he actually has a wife or something, because his religion of his people, before he joined the Jedi Order, is he can have multiple wives or something.
Yes.
I don't remember. But...
Well, I thought that was a thing, like, if you were married before that, it was fine, but afterwards...
It's something like that. They, like, I don't know. It's a little...
Because there's rules for Jedis. Jedis aren't allowed to have...
They're supposed to be...
Yeah.
Yeah. No attachments.
Right.
I think Ki-Adi-Mundi was one of the characters that was different, which was made him slightly interesting. But I'm missing the point, dude.
I feel like, if we really deep dive into... We're not doing it.
Right.
But the Jedi broke a lot of their own rules.
Did.
And they didn't care.
But that's what made them good characters, I will say.
Okay.
That's what made Anakin such a great fall, because you see him, he's like, I want to be a Jedi, I want to be perfect, but nobody trusts me. I have all of these emotions that nobody's understanding.
Right.
I wasn't raised with a father, I don't know what, you know what I mean?
It was also one of those, he saw the fault in other people too.
Yeah, and when he tried to speak up, he was ridiculed for it.
Right.
And then he found love, but he couldn't have that love because the Jedi said no. But he never really broke the Jedi code besides that, so he was always confused, like, I don't understand why I can't have love with Padme and still be a great Jedi and still protect the galaxy. You know what I mean?
Because
his downfall...
the children would want to fuck.
Exactly. So, his downfall... that was really funny. They're gonna kiss one day on Hoth. So,
yeah.
Or something like that. So,
Don't bug
I'm gonna go back to Ki-Adi-Mundi real quick. We know about Anakin Skywalker. I love Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Who doesn't?
Ki-Adi-Mundi, when we saw his character on the screen, we're like, wow, this is only maybe the second time we've ever seen his species ever, right? We're like, oh, look, a Jedi. People notice because his head.
Right.
Like, it's a dick. You know what I mean? It's, like, hard to miss. We're like, oh, it's one of Ki-Adi-Mundi's people. You know what I mean? At the end of the episode, in the credits, it says, Ki-Adi-Mundi, played by an actor, right?
Oh, so they verified that it was him.
Okay, listen.
So he lives, like, 300 years.
I went on the internet and looked.
Or 100 years.
And everybody was freaking out about it because they're like, how long do his people live? Blah, 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 blah. And people were looking in the canon, which is technically Legends, but it's canon since Disney bought it and they haven't changed it. So this is where a lot of people were like, fuck Disney, fuck Star Wars right now. This all happened last week on Tuesday. Like, the whole world of Star Wars fans went crazy.
I was about to say, oh, my world's about to change. Oh.
It's shaking. So, the canon, quote unquote, is that Ki-Adi-Mundi was born like 30 years or something before the events of the Phantom Menace. Something like that, right?
Okay.
As people were complaining about it, and as people were like, how is this Ki-Adi-Mundi? Like, give us an explanation. Is this somebody...
Is he a clone?
Is this somebody named Ki-Adi-Mundi? Is it... You know what I mean? Like, literally within an hour or so, I believe it was Star Wars Theory, who's a YouTuber slash, like, you know, he's known for being one of the, like,
one of the big
Star Wars
heads
heads.
who keeps track of this shit.
The headcanon people, yeah.
Gotcha.
I really like his stuff. People don't like him, but I don't know. Whatever. So anyways,
anyone who's good at what they do, a lot of people
are diverse.
don't like.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then some people, like Dr. Disrespect, actually touch kids, so who knows? Did you hear about that?
Was that verified?
He admitted to it.
Oh, okay.
Well, he didn't. I'm sorry. He didn't touch the kid. He did speak to a minor about meeting up and had inappropriate conversations. He did confess to that.
Gotcha.
So sometimes.
But he didn't do anything.
You live long enough.
You
you can either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Not us.
Not us.
Oh, good. You were.
Do you like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, boy. So where's Pelos?
You know. Huh?
We're not talking about him. Long story short, they changed over the internet. They changed on like the Wikipedia / like Star Wars information website the birth date of Ki-Adi-Mundi.
Oh, they changed it.
They changed it because immediately people were tweeting and like asking about it.
So, how old is he?
Now he's over 200 years old.
Okay.
But that literally, like, people freaked out because somebody put him in there and either didn't think ahead of what would happen and change the birth date or whatever the fuck they were trying to do, or they just were like, hey, we need to throw a character in there. What's a character that we can just throw in that people will be like, oh, it's somebody we know?
Wow, that's cool.
How fucking stupid is that?
I don't know. They could have just threw the ET people.
Well, they're in Star Wars.
I know. That's why I said that.
Yeah.
They could have just threw ET in there.
They could have, and it would have been fine.
Yeah. ET with a little lightsaber.
I love that Reddit universe. I don't know why. I'm such a kid. You know when you like go to the planet.
Yeah.
And like the fucking ET queen is like. I fucking love that ride. I don't know why. It's just so stupid.
Yeah.
I'm also a fan of just like old animatronics. I love looking at those things. All the dust on them. So basically, my whole rant about Acolyte was it's a terrible show, and I think the fans need to keep writing because we're winning. People are like quitting, or getting terminated. Disney's finally listening. And they're not, but they're at least noticing what's going on.
You know what show I did not like?
What do you got?
And
give it to me.
It was the new Scooby-Doo that came out.
Where they race swapped Shaggy.
The lady Mindy Kaling. Right?
You're talking about the actress from The Office?
Yes.
Was she a writer on it or something?
She created the whole thing. She played Velma.
I heard there were really bad things because she kept changing agendas and stuff.
She made so many agenda roles, at no point in time, Fred is no longer Fred, right? He's no longer the jock, know-it-all guy who pretends to be, the douche, but in a nice way.
Literally the guy that gets proven wrong every episode. That's his point. That's his story.
The whole point is that he gets proven wrong,
but he's helpful.
He's dumb,
to his
but
friends.
he's friendly, he's fun, and he dates Daphne. Well, in this one, Daphne's a fucking lesbian. He doesn't date Daphne. Mindy Kaling has a crush on him for an episode, and then she immediately starts fucking Velma or some shit like that. I never watched it personally.
I've heard things.
I've heard way too much about it to want to watch it.
Exactly.
Right? And then, from what I remember, the whole story is for the end of the season, apparently Velma dies and she is now a spirit, right? And you want to know who apparently the villain of the whole story was Scrappy-Doo. But there's no Scooby-Doo.
What are you talking about?
There's no Scooby-Doo.
What are you talking about? Say it again.
There's no Scooby-Doo. But she got rid of him.
What's the show called? Oh, it's called Velma, I guess, right?
Yeah, it's called Velma.
Where's Scooby?
There is no Scooby.
Don't say that.
Shaggy is just a stereotypical
stoner
black guy simping for Velma ass who can't get it because he's friend zoned. And, he's cool with it, whatever. That's just his character.
I'm already angry.
Right.
I'm shaking.
I don't care that they made him black, right? Shaggy could be...
sure.
Shaggy is Shaggy.
Yeah.
He is a god amongst men.
I would prefer you write a new character, but...
Dude...
It's not that in the world.
I say this a lot. If you just change the story and make it your own, maybe people would have liked it better. But you took something someone already loves...
Millions of people love.
...and destroyed what it was.
People have tattoos of the Scooby Gang.
Right.
Yeah,
So, a lot of people are like, this can't be... Because, there's the whole, the Scooby-verse kind of thing, right? All Scooby-Doo movies and shows are canon.
For sure, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, they mention old ones.
Because there are times in each one where they're like, you remember that time we were in this type of thing? And then they'll reference it, and then you're like, oh, they're talking about that time they went to the fucking zombie island and fucking fought a bunch of zombies.
Love that one.
That movie was so fucking good. But that was when they were adults, that's cool, right? And then there's the oh yeah, that one time we met fucking what the fuck's that wrestler's name? The one that's John Cena. I had to.
Oh my god, when he throws the boulder?
Yeah.
Hilarious.
Right? So the only reason I remembered his name is because I did that. But they'll reference that in all different episodes and stuff, right? But in Velma, they're saying they're all trying to say, don't make that shit canon. That should never be in existence. And I'm like, it's
why?
Because everybody just hates it. Like, it just seems like everything that Mindy Kaling was trying to push there.
Oh, you're talking about don't make Velma, the show, canon. Yeah. Well, obviously.
Right. Because what's the point of not having Scooby-Doo, but you have Scrappy-Doo?
What the fuck? It's not possible.
And apparently Scrappy-Doo is this unkillable god creature who's like, they literally blast him with like a fucking grenade launcher or something and he still doesn't die. Or something like that. I don't know fully. I've only seen small clips of people making fun of it, you know? But that's the kind of thing, like, if you're going to get an IP of something, you
respect it.
You have to make it better than what it is.
You have to respect it.
And if you can't make it better, you at least have to do at least an homage to it, right? So, like, you know what does it good? And I don't want to talk about this because it's my brother's fucking favorite thing in the world. Teenage Mutant Ninja fucking Turtles, dog. Yeah. All Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are canon. Doesn't matter which universe you look at, they're all canon. But guess what? Every fucking Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when people watch them, they think they're great in their own respective place. Yeah. Because they all have their own lineup. And the stories for those fucking turtles change all the fucking time. Sure. But every single canon is real. Yeah. Right? So, like, if you think of it as, like, there's a bunch
Didn't they make Courtney, like, ugly or something in the new animated movies?
Who?
Isn't the reporter named Courtney? No. With the yellow jacket?
Her name's not Courtney.
Oh, what's her name?
I know it, but I'm forgetting it. You know I'm bad with names.
Vicky Vale. No, I'm just kidding. That's Batman.
But,
go ahead, continue.
They made her a, like a, I think a 26-year-old black woman who's going through like a weird little midlife crisis kind of thing. But that movie was fucking amazing. Like, they did the character good still, you know?
So the movie was great.
Oh, the movie was fucking amazing. Like, even though they changed character, because I remember a lot of people bitching. They're like, why the hell would you make this character black? Are you looking up her name?
Yeah. And again, it's not about really her being black. It's about
it didn't matter.
Changing the character.
Right. Yeah. They changed the character for no reason. They just wanted to. But they changed the character, but they heightened it as well. You know? So in this universe, she's not really a reporter.
April O'Neil.
Yeah, April. That's what I was trying to think of. Yeah.
She's voiced by Ayo. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, the new April is black, short, and kind of like pudgy.
Yeah, right? I've seen the pictures.
Which there's nothing wrong with that. Whatever. She played her character, or like
she's
the way
Envy in Inside Out too.
Yeah.
Cool.
Go ahead, fun fact. Envy used to be Mindy Kaling. You didn't comment, but
was she fired or something?
She quit because allegedly they offered her half of what they offered the girl who plays Joy.
Tina Fey.
It's the lady from Parks and Rec.
Amy Poehler.
Amy Poehler. So apparently she was getting paid. I don't know the price, but I'm just gonna say she was getting paid $100, right?
$100K.
Yeah, whatever. Just she was getting paid like $100 something to come back to the movie, and Mindy Kaling was only getting paid like $50. And she was like, "I'm one of the main characters. You want me to come back? I'm just as big as her."
That's fair for her to be upset.
Right.
That's fair.
It also happened to another one of the guys. The person who played the scaredy cat one, the purple one.
Okay.
Fear. That's the name. The guy who played Fear, same thing happened with him. He was like, "Hey, how come I'm not getting paid as much as her?" They both had the same argument. They were like, "We're not going to be there if you don't fucking pay us." Now, I personally don't like Mindy Kaling because she's ruined Scooby-Doo for me, and I love Scooby-Doo.
I feel you.
So, like, even in The Office, I never liked her.
Yeah, Kelly was always a very annoying character.
I thought she was just too annoying. Like,
too much.
I
heard she was a writer on the show, which was why she wrote a couple of the funniest episodes.
So, I'll say this. Nice. She played her character well.
Yes.
But I don't like simping. And her character was a big simp.
Yeah.
And I get it. And then the guy who played that one character he was like a playboy young guy having fun. He played his role too.
Oh, BJ Novak?
Whatever the fuck his name is. I don't know. He's just the guy who dated her.
Ryan.
Sure. I don't remember the name of him. Every time I looked at him, I was like, it's just some white dude.
Who was also a writer for the show.
Yeah.
Yes.
But they would always like break up, get back together, break up, get back together,
yeah,
whatever.
Ryan. Yeah.
I liked him too, whatever. But Mindy Kaling, like, I watched her in The Office. I was like, okay, she's cool, whatever. I don't really like her because she's an annoying character. Because like, I didn't even like, what's it called? Fuck. The main character, the manager.
You didn't like Michael Scott?
I didn't like Michael Scott at all.
He's you.
No, he's not.
You fucking prick.
Michael Scott is literally Sharuk.
Who?
I don't know.
Who?
But it's
no,
dude. Like
no, you are the Michael Scott.
No,
of
I am
The Office.
No, if anything,
or you're the Creed.
I wouldn't say Creed, because I feel like there's too many Creeds at our job right now.
Okay.
Because most of our workers are just Creeds in hiding.
They are Creeds in hiding.
You know?
You're right.
I'm very open with everything.
Dude, you're the Michael Scott, I'm telling you.
No,
I'm fucking
not,
telling you right
I'm not
now.
the Michael Scott.
You better own it with pride.
If anything...
It's a compliment.
Yeah, fine, whatever. I never liked him. Even on the last episode when he said that he was leaving, I was like... I still had that, oh man, he's leaving, I'm sad for him. Good, but I fucking hate him.
Oh my God.
That's
such a hot take.
It was like,
People are gonna go back to this episode and be like, man, Kyle's a cunt.
Dude, I know that. That's such like a heavy one to throw out there.
Unapologetic.
But I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I never liked him from the start. I'll never like him till the fucking end. Because even when he came back for random joke days and he said stupid shit, because who was that other fucker who got in charge for a while?
Will Ferrell's character? Or someone else? Robert California?
The one that went to like that prestigious school.
Oh, Andy. Andy Bernard.
I fucking hated him too.
You suck! Great character!
You're the fucking Andy.
Thank you.
I know you are. You're a mixture between Andy and that fucking gay dude who was fucking awesome.
Oh, thank you.
I like
Oscar Martinez.
Oscar Martinez was one of my favorite characters.
Thank you very much.
Because he got treated like shit all the time.
And he won.
And everything that he does was like amazing.
Amazing.
And like...
I love Oscar. Yeah. I really appreciate the combination of those two. Thank you.
Okay. Because you have your times where like... You have your white collar bullshit.
For sure.
That I just listen to and I'm like, whatever, I'll let you have it. Right?
Yeah.
And then you have like... Because there are times where that motherfucker gets ghetto. There's times where that motherfucker gets super serious.
Yeah, yeah.
There's times where he's gay and he acts gay. But like... all the time he's like really straightforward and he wants people to understand, you know, you get that. You're in between both of those. But it was like the moment he took on like that manager position or whatever, his character like switched.
It did.
And he turned into the Michael Scott version. And before his character was kind of smart in his own way. Yeah. And then he took on the next step, which, like, it kind of felt like if you became the manager of this fucking company, you became an idiot really fast.
I'm going to throw something at you real quick. Just a side note that goes alongside that.
Okay.
It's a little office knowledge that I know, which sucks. And most of the people that I date watch The Office. Everyone watches The Office, right?
Sure.
Most people I've dated have the same thing, where Andy Bernard was a great character until he became a manager. Because they started writing off his character, especially with his relationship with Erin.
Yeah.
The redhead.
Yeah.
They started writing him off because he was becoming such a big actor with, like, The Hangover. And he was getting more into Hollywood.
Gotcha.
So they were writing off his character slowly but surely, and it ruined some of the show. Because when Andy becomes manager, like, that's a huge step, like you're saying.
Right.
Everybody in the world who was watching The Office was like, this is it. We need to see what's the next funny step. Because Michael Scott was basically the main character in the whole show, right?
So, like... Whoa.
That was the downfall of
he
The
was
Office.
not the main character, but he was like...
You're just mad because he's awesome.
Well, no, because obviously fucking Pam and the other fucker...
And Jim, yeah.
And Jim.
Dwight.
They... Well, yes. But Pam and Dwight... not Dwight.
Pam and Jim from season 2 and forward.
They are literally the main characters.
Yeah, they're the whole
Before, like, the very first season, it's kind of like spread between everything.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just...
They're fishing for who they're going to put in the spotlight.
Right.
Yeah.
They're like, first season... whoever gets it, ring that bitch
Exactly,
in.
yeah.
We need this story.
Yeah.
You know? And I liked it. It was great.
I
and
did
then
too.
after that, just everything just started trickling down. You watch, it's a story about how these people fall in love with their goofy co-host friends.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Because the only person who didn't become a retard when he became fucking manager was Jim. And he fucking hated his life when he was the manager.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me because everybody else loved their life.
Mm-hmm.
They were like, oh, I'm a big shot now. I get to do whatever the fuck I want because I'm in the lead. When he took the lead, he had all the higher ups fucking coming down on him. He had all this bullshit that he had to deal with, and he's just like, dude, why did I even take this position? You know? And like, I get it. Like even he explains, he's like, my character's not meant to be like serious. What is this bullshit?
Mm-hmm.
Because like, that's not me saying him outside of like the cameras. He said that. No, him doing his personal interviews. He's like, yeah, I just don't like being the manager. You know?
Yeah.
He says that shit. And I'm like, oh, okay. He hates it, but he's still going to do the work. He's still going to do what he has to do. Whatever. And then, you know, that whole Dwight shit. Dwight becomes the fucking leader. He fucking shoots his gun all over the fucking place.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking love him.
Yeah.
So, like,
shout out to my favorite character, Robert California. Go ahead.
Okay. I forgot what we were originally talking about because we started ranting about other shit.
I mean, all in all, the Acolyte sucks dick, man.
Oh, yeah, dude. Fuck Acolyte.
Fuck Acolyte.
Like, I don't know
you
nothing.
Haven't seen it.
I don't know enough about
it.
it.
The fact that you're hearing everything.
Yeah. The fact that I'm still hearing it. Oh, right. It was just, we were talking about, like, what, fans getting treated like shit because they expect more from the writers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think that's the overall basis that we were going for before we went on. Man, this whole
segment
should be its own story.
I mean,
its own, like, cut.
We should hit the 2 stories about John and then wrap. Because I really want to hear about the 2 stories, but we're almost coming on 3 hours.
Oh, okay. So earlier when we were getting the pizza.
Yeah. Oh, that was it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
So, like, it wasn't anything, like, too crazy or weird, but John got out of the car. So, like, we made separate orders, right? We ordered on the phone. He ordered on his phone. We drove up to pick it up because it was on the way home. And I sat in the car talking to Courtney for a second. John hopped out immediately, ran right in and to get his food, right?
Okay.
He goes in there, grabs
sketchy.
No, he goes in there, grabs his food, and then I get out of the car, I start walking up. He's already got his pizza in his hand. It looks like he's about to turn around and walk away. Immediately, as soon as I walk in, the guy starts to talk to me, and he's like, hey, you're here for a pickup? I'm like, yeah, I put in an order like maybe like 15, 20 minutes ago. Should be under Kyle or Courtney. And he's like, yeah, it's just getting done. And like, they were just closing the box. I'm like, cool. And then without a beat, John was like, hey, man. And I was like, what's up? And he was just like, you're a pretty good looking guy. And I was like, you know what? Thank you, man. There's not too many people who just like randomly will come up to someone and say that. So I shook his hand like I didn't know who the fuck he was.
I like where this is going.
Right? And he's just like, listen, man. I don't do this all the time.
This is all in front of the person, right?
Yeah, this is all okay, this is just in front of this guy.
Okay.
John just made a skit.
Okay.
And I was like, all right, I'm gay now.
Roll with it.
Let's do it. Because, you know, we're cartoon
Life's
characters.
too short.
Yeah.
You gotta get in there.
We're fucking cartoon characters.
I love it.
So John was just like, yeah, man, so I usually don't really do this, but you're actually a pretty good... I came in with, like, my button up,
for sure.
My dress
for
pants.
sure, yeah.
You know, I look good usually. At least decent. I get compliments. But... Fuck you. John said all of that, and I'm like, yeah, man, I appreciate the compliments, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, yeah, well, can I get your number? And then I was like, you know, I'm not really big on, like, giving my number out like that. And he was like, well, I'll give you my number. And I was like, all right, whatever. So I pull my phone out, and I type in his number, and then I'm like, all right, I got your number on my phone. And then he's just like, yeah, man. And then he, like, started saying, like, this side stuff. He's like, yeah, I'm going to be having, like, this party coming up this weekend. Maybe we can hang out. And I was like, all right, man, I just want you to know I have a wife. And he was just like, she doesn't have to know. And I was like...
He came up with all this?
Yeah, dude, John is fucking hilarious when it's like me and him.
Wow.
He was like, she doesn't have to know. And I was just like I paused, I like thought about it, and I was like, hey man, I'm gonna call you right now so you can have my number.
What did the guy say?
So I hit call. And then like John pulls out his thing, he's like, cool, what was your name? I was like, my name's Kyle. He's like, I'll contact you the info a little bit later. Your car was that red one, right? That's a nice car you got out there. And then I was like, yeah, man, would you come in? And he just said some like random fucking car, right? And then he went outside and left. And then I was like, the guy like handed me the thing, and he was like, he turned around, grabbed the pizza, handed it to me, and he was like, yeah, your bill's like 14 something. And I was like, cool, another good, like, I told him, I was like, another great conversation to have. And I, like, pulled my thing out, paid for it, and then I was like, I guess I got a date later. Don't tell my wife. And I walked out, and then I got in the car.
Wow. That's so great.
Yeah.
I love that shit. I love that shit. I have a couple stories like that, but I can't remember right now.
Dude.
But that's awesome.
That was like this is what I love John for.
The
right?
improv.
No, it's not even the improv.
Uh-huh.
It's just, I have these moments with John that make me remember why I just love him so much.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many reasons to hate this motherfucker.
For sure, yeah. I want him dead.
But
there's moments that shine through the darkness.
When it is me and him, we just do shit.
I love that.
And like, that was me, like, in the car with him being annoyed because the motherfucker kept mentioning fucking Wawas and fucking... So, I don't know if you know what Wawas is, but
it's a Wawa.
It's... sorry, I had, like, a weird hiccup there. It's a weird convenience store in Florida called Wawa's.
Okay.
Me and John went there one time and we got a sandwich from there.
All right.
Yeah. Like, that's all it was. We got a sandwich and its name was Wawa's, and he thought it was funny, so he, like... For literally the entire vacation, he's like, Kyle, why don't we go back to Wawa's? Why don't we go back to Wawa's? And I'm like, shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear Wawa's anymore. Right? But now he just does it like he I don't know why. Well,
hey Kyle,
you know,
Wawa.
Because in August we're planning on going to Florida again.
Sure.
So because he knows we're going to Florida, he's like, oh yeah, we can go to Wawa's when we go there. Fuck you.
Gotcha.
So he keeps bringing it up, and then he also keeps bringing up Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is where,
I know what Buc-ee's is.
Yeah, that's the place where he had a seizure as soon as we got there, so we had to leave.
Amazing.
Yeah. But he keeps mentioning Buc-ee's too, so like he'll be like, "Hey Kyle, can we go to Wawa's?" All right, I guess we can't. Like, I won't answer him ever. Like, I don't.
Why would you?
I don't respond to that
for sure
because he knows it annoys me.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "All right, I guess I'll settle for fucking fuck." Buc-ee's. He'd be like, I'll settle for Buc-ee's then. I'm like, fuck you! Just shut up about it! You fucking bitch! But that's, you know, that's the stuff that I hate, and I remember why I hate him about it. Right?
But then
there's those moments where, like, we click, and then we just start doing shit.
I love it.
Because it'll either be like, I'll be like, hey John, I really need your help. Boom, we'll just start working on whatever it is, whether it's manual labor, something stupid, something easy. Or sometimes John will just say something, and I'll be like, I'm in. Let's go.
Hey.
Right? Because we don't skip beats.
I like that.
Right. Those are my loving moments.
For sure. I get you.
I have a lot of them. I never say them because I don't want people to know that I love him. But fuck him.
I gotcha.
Right?
I get you. So tell me about McDonald's.
So I'm going to tell you about a McDonald's story where I fucking hate him till this day.
Okay, this is it.
I hope he burns in hell for what he has done to me.
I'm so excited for this story.
Right? So...
Because I felt like you've told me this, but I don't remember. So I'm so excited to hear it again.
So, during the time Shamrock Shakes came out, right? Like the year before, every single day, we were going to get Shamrock Shakes that whole month. We were like, every day, we got to get a Shamrock Shake, dude. Let's go. Boom, boom, boom. Every day we were doing it, right? Well, now how I go to work is my wife drives us to work, right? Because she uses my car, she does whatever she wants, and then she comes and picks us up later, which has been godly for me because now I don't have to pay for parking. Fuck yeah, I save money. But John always asks me, he'd be like, hey, you want to go get a Shamrock Shake? And I'm like, I don't know, we got to ask Courtney. If Courtney wants to go an extra block or two away, sure. If she doesn't, no. You know, because I don't ever force my wife to drive more than she has to.
For sure.
Except today when I had to go to a funeral. That's a side note.
Not important.
Right. Well, no, it is important.
Oh,
but
yeah.
not important for the context of this story, just so we know.
Oh, no, I meant like not important the other way.
Sure. Either way.
Got it.
But so what ended up happening was for like 2 weeks straight, he was asking me and Courtney, and Courtney kept telling him no. She's like, dude, I'm not driving more than I have to. I fucking hate you people. Because, you know, she's picking up Juan, she's picking up John and me. So she's driving all of us, and she's like, I already got to drop you off, drop him off, drop me off, whatever. I make it sound like she's going somewhere after she drops me off. No, we're coming into my house.
For sure, yeah.
But one day, John says, hey, Courtney said that we're going to go to McDonald's today. And I was like, oh shit, for real? And he was like, yeah, but just in case, don't forget to remind her. And I was like, okay, whatever, I don't care. And I fucking we're like we work the whole day. In my head, I'm like, cool, we're getting McDonald's after work. I don't really like McDonald's anymore. No. Right? Like
it's disgusting.
It's not that it's disgusting to me. I just don't care to get it anymore. Like, okay. Like I'd rather go to Taco Bell, and I don't even like Taco Bell as much as I used to like it.
Agreed.
Right?
Yeah.
Because you know, back in the day, dude,
we fuck it up.
Dude, I'd fuck burritos up.
Fuck it up.
Right?
Yeah.
I still fucking love Taco Bell. By the way, Taco Bell wants to fucking sponsor me.
Would appreciate it.
Yeah. But
we'll take McDonald's if we have to.
Yeah. I was about to say a different slogan. Just like, you know, have it your way, but you know.
Continue.
That's Subway, I think. Nonetheless.
Are we still talking about kids?
Huh? When were we talking about kids?
I was making a Subway joke.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
That's great. No, it's not great.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
I agree.
Fuck, where was I? But John told me, hey, remind Courtney that we're going because she let me know that we will go today. I'm like, okay, cool. We get into the car finally, and in my head, this whole time, I'm like, we're going to McDonald's, right? So, right after work, Courtney's like, hey, we have to stop at Walmart. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever, we'll stop at Walmart. There's a McDonald's right after the Walmart. I figured that's when we're going to hit it up, you know? And we drive there, we go into the Walmart, and then we buy some shit, whatever. And at the very end, Courtney looks at the Burger King there, and she's like, hey, why don't we get Burger King? And I looked at her, and I'm like, why would we go to Burger King when we're going to McDonald's today?
Yeah.
And
we had a plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she was like, what the fuck are you talking about? And I was like, John called me and said you were going to take us to McDonald's today. And she was like, I didn't say that.
Oh, no.
And then I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, I never talked to John at all today. And then that was John deviously planning, right?
Okay.
So he was expecting me to like call Courtney and be like, hey, I want to go to McDonald's today.
I see.
Right?
But you didn't do that.
But I didn't say that because in my head, I thought it was the plan.
Right.
I thought we were going to McDonald's. Yeah. Like, I thought it made sense.
Yep.
Right?
I'm not double checking anything.
Right. I didn't care. So then, like, I asked her, I was like, but I thought we were going to McDonald's. And then John did that shit. And then I, like, John's right next to us when this is all breaking down. So, you know, he's behind just, like...
Sitting there?
Like, look, like, well, no, he's not sitting. We're walking.
Oh.
Right?
Okay.
Because we're still in the store.
Oh.
We're making our way out. And he's like... He's giving that look like, don't look at me. Because he knows I'm about to turn around and be
You're
like,
about to figure it out.
Stupid motherfucker.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, you know, me and Courtney just went back and forth for a quick second. And then I turn around and I look at John and I'm like, you just fucking manipulate me into tricking my wife into going to McDonald's? And he was just like, yes.
The pause.
He paused and said yes. And then I was like, it was great.
Yeah.
But we're not going to McDonald's ever again now because of that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then literally the very next day, we're like, okay, let's go to McDonald's.
Yeah.
Because I was feeling the shamrock shake.
That's funny as fuck.
Right?
Yeah.
So we were like, okay, John, we're going to throw you a bone. Right? This is why
I like that the story keeps going.
Yeah. This is the next day.
I love it.
I didn't hate him until this day.
I love that there's more to the story.
Okay.
All right.
So what ended up happening was,
Watch out. She's coming.
she's fine.
All right.
I don't think she's ever gotten on the couch before.
Come here, baby. Go.
But, so what ends up happening is, we tell John, he gets in the car, we're like, hey, we'll go to McDonald's today, right? But, you gotta make the order, because we're not fucking bothering, right? He has the phone app, so...
Okay, don't let her dig in there.
I don't care.
Oh.
She's been biting this couch for
So I can't slightly put my feet on the edge of the couch to crouch like an owl, but she can bite into the pillowcase? Is that what you're talking
This is her home.
You're right, I apologize. Continue.
Okay.
Way to clarify that.
So the thing is, this is too thick. So when she tries to bite it, she doesn't like biting it at the top with her beak. She chews on the side.
Okay.
I don't know why she does it, but that's what she does.
I gotcha.
But nonetheless, so we tell John, we're like, hey, you see, she tried to do the top, but she couldn't get in. We'll go to McDonald's today, but you got to order for us, right?
Okay.
We're like, hey, order 2 Shamrock Shakes. Courtney wanted I think a McFlurry or something. Like the one that comes with like a brownie or whatever.
Okay.
I think it's a brownie or Oreos, whatever. Whatever it is, a flurry.
All right.
Right? Or it was a sundae. Ice cream. Some form of ice cream.
For sure.
She was like, order me that ice cream. Order Kyle a shake, you a shake. John's like, okay, I gotcha. He does the order and he's like, all right, we got the order in. And I'm like, cool, all right, we're on our way there. We get to the McDonald's, right? As we're pulling up, like this whole time we were like being quiet. We weren't talking, right?
Vibing.
We get to the McDonald's and I was just, there's just sometimes I get feelings.
Yeah, I've seen it in action.
Right.
You get a third sense.
Right. And usually I'm pretty good with it.
Yeah.
So I was like, hey, John, let's just make sure. What did you order? Can you, like, tell us the order that you made? And he looked at me and was like, I ordered a Shamrock Shake, like you said. And I was like, what else? He was like, I ordered me a Shamrock Shake, like you said. I had to order from the app. And I was like, hey, John, you remember when we had a conversation saying that we would go to McDonald's if you ordered all the food for us? Like, I would give you the money for it.
But you're making the order.
But you're making the order. And he was like, yeah, I ordered my Shamrock Shake. What's the problem? And I was like, the problem is your dumb ass didn't fucking order us the food, so now we have to sit in this fucking line and wait to get it. And the McDonald's that we were going to has a strict rule. You can't do double orders.
Gotcha.
So, when you go up and you say, hey, I have a mobile order, can I also order something? They tell you no.
Makes sense.
So...
Can't hold up the line.
Dude, just thinking about it pisses me off. So what happens is... we're in the line now.
Yeah.
We're like, whatever. Because what we were going to do was stop, go in, grab it, get back in the car, go. Right?
Right.
Skip the line
Quick and
entirely.
easy. Boom.
But that couldn't happen because we had to get in the fucking line. There was like,
I don't understand how he confirmed to you and said, "Okay, got it. I ordered it."
Right.
And then
But
your
then
your third eye was like, I feel like he only ordered one thing.
I don't know what it was, but I had to confirm with
That's
him.
crazy.
And we got there, we got in the line, and we told him, we're like, John, you're gonna have to get out this car and go get your shit.
Yeah.
So
because now you have to sit in the drive-thru, and he can go inside.
Right. So we're in the drive-thru, moving forward. John doesn't get out, right? We get to the fucking window, and we're like,
my God.
or not the window, but like the ordering spot.
Okay.
And we're like, yeah, could I get a Shamrock Shake and whatever my wife wanted?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, since I'm already here, I'm just going to order a sandwich too. Fuck it.
For sure.
So I ordered 2 McChickens, 2 McDoubles. Because I like those. They're fucking good to me. Like, you can never go wrong with a McChicken. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. But as I
Not a sponsor.
As I say that, yeah, not sponsored. John's like, oh yeah, can you add like 2 more for me? And I'm like, no, John, you're about to go inside and get your fucking food yourself. You might as well just order it for yourself in there. And he was just like, what the fuck? That doesn't make any sense, right? He thinks that we were saying you can't have anything now, right? So he stays in the car and he's like mad that we're yelling at him. So
even though he fucked it up.
Right. So then we get past that and then I'm like, John, we're about to get to the window where we need to pay. So you need to hop out the car, go fucking get your shit, and then get back in the car,
right.
And then let's leave.
So we can go. Yeah.
Right? So
you gave a whole solution to the problem he caused.
Right.
Okay.
I gave him all the answers.
That's it.
He didn't understand a single one.
Jesus.
Like, I don't know what was with him that month, but every time I would tell him anything, it's like it went in his ear, and like, it didn't even go through the other. It didn't make it in his ear.
Oh my God.
You know, like, it just went, and just went away, right? So, like any sentence that I would tell him, he just never listened. Like, I don't understand what the fuck was his issue that month, right? And it was pissing me off bad.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was building up. But, so, we get up to the window. I literally tell him, John, if you want your fucking food and your fucking shake, get out of this car, go now, or else we're gonna fucking leave you. Right? So he gets out of the fucking car, he runs in, he's like, bullshit. Goes, right? Goes into the place, he orders his food or whatever. We're paying for it, we're slowly moving up to get our shit. And in my head, I'm like, man, what the fuck's taking John so long? Because, like, we're literally outside for a while.
I'm scared about what you're about to tell me.
We get to the window to get our food. We get our drinks. Put them down. We get our food. We look at it, because we always look at it.
Double check, yeah, real quick.
We're like, cool. And I'm like, man, where the fuck is John? I don't see him. He's still inside in the line or whatever. He ordered his food. So we're like, whatever, let's just do a loop around real quick. We'll get him and then we can just loop out and just leave.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
So as we loop around, he's actually coming outside. So it was like, okay, perfect timing.
For sure.
We just got to do one more loop, but we're not in the line, so we'll get out.
Great.
Right? It doesn't click to me this time around. Right? Because I'm assuming what he did. But I'm going to tell you exactly what he looked like when he came into the car. We drove around. We stopped in the middle. He came outside. He had his bag of food and got into the car, and then sat down and was like, "All right, are we ready to go?" And then I was like, "Yeah, what the fuck took so long, dude?"
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
And he was like, "I had to wait for my fucking food to get made, man. I was just sitting waiting." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then Courtney got this feeling.
Oh boy.
And she was like, "Hey John, where's your shake?"
Right.
Because like I said,
he came in with the food.
Yeah. And I was like, in my head, I immediately clicked 2 and 2. He went in there, said that he had a mobile order. He wanted to order something. He sat there drinking his shake. He drank it already. He's done. That's what I thought.
That's what a normal person would assume.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That is what I assumed. Courtney didn't assume that. Courtney said, "Where's your drink?" John had the fucking nerve to tell us, "I went in to get the burgers. I thought you guys were grabbing my drink. What's going on?" And he starts to try to yell at us. And I'm like, "John, why the fuck did we tell you to leave this car for the first fucking reason?"
Oh my God.
And John was like, "I don't fucking know.
Oh,
you just told me to get out of the car because I wanted burgers." And I'm like, "John, I am never fucking taking you to McDonald's again. I will beat your ass if you ever fucking tell me to."
I can't even listen to the story right now. It's making me so angry.
Right? Dude, I had so much fucking anger.
I'm glad you started off with the story about him making you laugh and having a great improv moment.
Right.
Because I'm at the point where I will kill him. I can't, it's not even my story.
So, like,
I'm so mad.
John's lovable and goofy and all this shit, but then he's a fucking idiot.
That's so dumb. That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
So he fucking said, because he thought
it's like he's got short-term memory.
The milkshake that was sitting in my spot where my drinks were, he thought that was his.
Oh my god.
Waiting for it. And I'm like, John, if you don't walk your ass back in that fucking place and get your drink immediately, like, don't wait in line, don't wait for shit, go in there and say, hey, I had a mobile order, I forgot to grab it, can you just give it to me now? I am fucking leaving you here and you're walking home. Right?
Right.
I was pissed.
Yeah.
Because at this point, he's just wasting my fucking day.
And your sanity.
Right. So, he goes in there and he immediately comes out with the drink.
Okay.
Like, fast as fuck.
Okay.
Right? Like, they had that shit ready for
Now
him.
you're going to tell me he left his phone at McDonald's.
No.
Okay.
But he got in the car and then, like...
What'd he say?
The whole time he was, like, the way that I took it felt that... The way that he felt like he was being attacked.
Now he is. He wasn't at first.
But the whole time...
Yeah.
He was like, I thought I was in the right for what I did.
Not at all at any point.
But that's because he wasn't listening. He chose not... He only heard what he wanted to hear.
Why?
We can go to McDonald's? I have to make a mobile order. I'll just make my mobile order real quick. Right? That's what he heard. And then later was, oh, so you guys are going to get my order for me, but you're making me go in because you don't want to order me burgers because you're mad at me. I understand. I'll go do that.
No.
That's what he took from the conversation. He might defend himself differently, right?
Doesn't matter.
I don't give a fuck what his opinion is. Because I know what his opinion is. I gave him his opinion.
This is dictatorship.
In my head. Right?
Right.
So, because I try to argue both sides. When it comes to John,
yeah,
I don't let him... Like, I'll ask him, I'll be like, hey, can you please explain to me why you think this is fine?
Yeah.
And John has a real hard time explaining when he's wrong. Right? And it's not because he doesn't understand he's wrong. It's because he either doesn't know how to explain it well enough, or he just doesn't think he's wrong at all. Right? So, you know, fuck it. Give it to you. So I'll give that story for him. I'll read it in my head. This is what he's thinking. This is his mentality. Whether he believes this is his mentality or not, this is what he's proven to me. Right? So, yes. Fuck John.
Mm-hmm.
That was like the big little story for that, and it drove me fucking nuts.
I like literally started sweating because of how like angry I just got.
Do you know how bad I cussed out Tracy? Because like at first she was on John's side.
Nah, dude.
She was like, well, how long has he been asking to go to McDonald's? I was like, dude, it's been like 14 days straight.
That's how fat people think. Tracy, I'm gonna tell you that right now.
But
she's not fat, but
that's the thing, right? Like,
she's got fat potential.
She was like, yeah, but he's been asking for a while, you know, and you're always ignoring him. And, you know, I'm like, yeah, that's true, whatever, but...
It doesn't excuse the present moment.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like, if he wants extra side bullshit, but he wants to do, like, backwards way of doing it, right? Because he tried to trick us, right?
Right, first of all...
First, he tried to trick...
He tried to play you guys.
He tried to play Courtney by getting me to be like, hey, let's go to McDonald's. Right? Because if I had told Courtney at any time, hey, let's go to McDonald's, she's not going to tell me.
No problem. Yeah.
She might say, hey, I really don't want McDonald's today. And I probably would have been like, okay, then fine. Let's do something different. But I want to go. You know? Because I'm feeling it. Right?
You McFeeling it?
I'm McFeeling. But yeah, if I had asked her, she would have just took us. Right? Or she would have been like, okay, I'm just going to go home. You guys take the car, just go. Right? I'm like, okay, cool. I wouldn't have given a shit. I would have just did it. But the way that John went about it was, Kyle, Courtney said we're good to go to McDonald's. Just remind her.
Man, such manipulation. Which, by the way, as you and I would probably not even take offense to it because it'd kind of be funny.
No, but that was great.
It'd be a smart
That's
move.
why I wasn't mad.
Right.
I was like, you son of a bitch. Like, that was
like, that's
good.
a little classy.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you had done that to me, you're like, hey, Courtney said we were going to go to McDonald's. I want you to know, if I had said, hey, Thomas said we were going to McDonald's, Courtney wouldn't have, like, she would have been like, oh, okay.
No hesitation.
No hesitation.
Yeah.
Only because you haven't done...
I've got such good repertoire.
Yeah, you have such good rep with Courtney.
For sure, yeah.
John has, like...
I'm the favorite.
So, John has good rep with Courtney, but Courtney also knows his bullshit.
Right.
So, his rep is always circumstantial. Like, sometimes it's like... So, I don't know what the fuck it is, but sometimes my wife will, like, die on a limb for John, right? Like... She'll defend John.
She was defending him the other day.
Yeah. I'll literally be like, no, dude, fuck him. He's just being a stupid bitch, blah, blah, blah. You know. And she'll be like, no, you gotta fucking do this. You gotta do this. This is your boy. Right. Whatever. And I'm like, okay, yeah, whatever. Fine, fuck it. Hey, John, blah, 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 blah. And then John will either be like, no, I don't give a fuck. Or, yeah, let's do that. Right? And I'm like, cool. Some random stuff she will, like, she'll fucking fight Vietnam for, right?
Right.
She'll fight in Vietnam and lose and... Whatever.
We all lost.
Yeah, we all lost.
They're in the trees.
but yeah. But then sometimes, like, I'll be John's, like, grace. Be like, oh, you shouldn't say that about John. My wife will be like, dude, fuck him. He's on some other shit right now, you know? Because
you guys literally switch, like, every week.
We do.
Yeah.
That perfect combo, you know?
Yeah.
We're either perfectly in sync,
yeah,
or we're like
complete opposite.
There's a gun right here, ready to go.
Right.
It'll switch soon. But she's usually against John majority of the time, and I'll be like, nah, it's just John. It's fine. Who cares? Like when that happened, she's like, why the fuck would you let him manipulate us like that? And she was offended, right? But I was like, dude, it's just John. Who gives a fuck? Just. He tried to do a play. Don't you think that's funny? You know, and she's like, no, I hate that shit. Like, why would someone think it's okay to be like, trick this person? I was like, yeah, but it's one of those, like, you know, when you ask mom says no, then you ask dad, and dad says yes. So then you, like, sneak out of the house before your mom even notices, and then when you come back home, you're like, dad said it was fine. You know?
Right.
And then you don't get in trouble because dad is going to be like, I'm defending the fact that, you know, I let him go. But I did that shit. Like, so, first and foremost, just so that we know, whenever I talk about my father, I'm actually talking about my stepdad. My original father died when I was young. I was like 4 years old when he died. But, nonetheless, my stepfather, who... raised me since the age of 4, like literally right after he died, my mom got with the next guy, which was fine because they were like separated, you know, so it's not like weird the way that I said it.
I'm making sure you're not getting emotional right now. You sound like you're cracking. You okay?
No.
All right.
But the way that I was like trying to explain it was like I felt like I was kind of calling my mom a whore low key, right?
I didn't get that vibe at all.
Oh, okay.
And suddenly I'm getting this weird vibe.
But no, my mom and dad were split for a while, and then my mom ended up dating somebody new. My father dated somebody new too. You know? So it was whatever.
I get it.
And then he died, and then, you know, the other guy, Andres, came into the family, and then that was it. Whatever. Fuck, what was I trying to say?
I don't know. You just kept going.
But
and I know the story.
Right.
Yeah.
But I would always do that shit where I would go to him and be like, hey, is it cool if I go to Johnny's house today?
Yeah.
Just to hang out? And he would be like, yeah, I don't give a fuck. Go ahead. And like, I would ask my mom and she'd be like, no, right? And then it like, before I used to ask my mom all the time, can I go? Can I go? And my mom got tired of that shit, right? So she was like, go to Andres. If whatever it is, you gotta ask him. And I was like, why? Because my mom told him if I ask for anything, say no, right?
Gotcha.
So what ended up happening was I'd be like, hey Andres, can I go to Johnny's house just to hang out for a while? And he'd be like, no, you got fucking dishes to do, man. Go do the fucking dishes. I'd go do the dishes. I'd come back, hey, can I go now? And he'd be like, go fucking cut the lawn outside. And I'd be like, okay. I'd go out there, cut the lawn. I'd be like, can I go now? Like, what's up? And he'd be like, no, you can't go. And I'd be like, why? And then I'd be like, Ma said it was fine. I would just say it.
Oh,
and
shit.
he'd be like, really? And I'd be like, well, yeah, as long as I got whatever I had to do done. And he'd be like, all right, I'll take you. Let's go.
That's fair.
And he'd take me over there.
Hey,
before I was driving, right?
Yeah.
And then I would come home and get my ass beat, because
well,
he would come home and be like, I took Kyle to Johnny's, and then she'd be like,
why?
She'd be like, why? It was like, because he said that it was fine.
No, I never said this.
She's like, I didn't say, my mom doesn't have that accent. Fucking bitch.
Let it be known that a few years ago, I met Kyle's mom, and she had an accent, and I immediately started copying her accent, and Kyle claims that she does not have an accent. Sometimes when I talk to her, she does not have an accent.
My mom sounds like a normal white woman. She is... She is this Cuban woman who escaped from Cuba... at the ripe age.
What the fuck? Did you say escaped again?
Yes.
It's escaped.
I don't give a fuck.
Is it the accent coming out?
It's my accent. That she escaped from fucking Cuba. And, yeah, I'm not gonna change it for you. Fuck you. And at the ripe age of 8 years old, for the Peter Pan Act bullshit, I don't know if I explained this before. Oh, I explained it on the other podcast, the one that had the fucked up recording. Right. Whatever. Nonetheless, she got to do that. She came here to the U.S. She learned how to be a fucking American at the age of 8. She does not have a fucking accent. Thank you.
Gaia.
No.
That's how she says your name.
That is not how she says it.
And then when she says your real name, she goes, Aquiles.
I'm not going to argue.
You know what we have to do? Gotta put your mom right in the seat.
We gotta get my mom in here.
Right in the
She's
middle.
always recommending stories for me to, like, tell.
Yeah.
And it's always, like, fucking Cuba adventures and shit. Like, there was one time, because she's always sent us to Cuba on some bullshit, right? So, I know she would tell the story better, but my mom and I and my sister were on the news because Cuba held us. So what ended up happening was somebody sold our visas while we were in Cuba.
Yeah.
Right?
Cool.
So, like, I don't know how it happened, but they got a copy of our visa, they sold it to somebody, and somebody left the country.
Fuck.
Right?
Under your names.
The way that it looked was we were gone.
Yeah.
Right? So when we left to try to leave, it looked like we were already gone, so we were just strangers.
Right.
Trying to take names. So they locked us up, technically. They locked my mom up. They didn't lock the kids up.
I'd lock your mom up,
They
too.
let us go. So we were stuck in Cuba for an extra week and a half, and apparently it made the news. So, like, I think you can still look it up. I don't know exactly what you have to look up, but you will find my mother's name on there, which is Elizabeth Lopez Riachi. And she told me to say this, so that's why I'm saying her full name.
I'm like, I was giving you the caution.
Hell, I've already told people I'm Kyle-Elio Torres.
No, that's
whatever.
fine. No.
My mom's been on the news many times for various reasons.
Allegedly.
Uh-huh. But she was essentially held captive in Cuba, and when I finally I came to school a week late, right? And when I got back to school, one of my because I didn't understand what was going on when I was little, right? I was just, oh fuck, I'm stuck here for another week? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Right? Whatever. I get back to school and they were like, so what happened? I heard you were held hostage in Cuba by the Cubans. And I was like, what? I was just with my family. What are you talking about? Held hostage? It's like, dude, your whole family was on the news saying that they fucking kidnapped you, saying they weren't going to let you guys go. And I'm like, is that what happened? Like, I just remember my teachers, like, being all, like, surprised and shit. And I'm like, I don't remember none of that. I just remember hanging out with my family. You know, like...
Ignorance is bliss.
Ignorance is bliss. Well, you know, my mom never told me shit when I was little.
Yeah.
Like, I knew it happened, but I didn't understand why it happened.
That's kind of crazy, though.
Yeah.
Could you imagine that happened now?
There's a lot of social media about now, so it would be, like, crazier, I guess.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would probably have gotten me out of it faster.
That's more than true.
Yeah.
Because all you need now is evidence of you doing something else.
Right.
You know what I mean?
As long as you can prove it real quick, shit happens.
You have
You'll have an army of Americans who are like, let's just kill all the Cubans.
I'm going on Reddit.
Yeah. going on Reddit.
I have another thing real quick.
Oh, yeah, sure.
My DM, Ian.
Yes.
For my D&D games, he is on vacation in Santa Fe.
Okay.
And I kind of didn't say anything about this to anybody else because just in case, because I know some people are crazy. But he met George R.R. Martin at a bar. There's like a very popular bar in Santa Fe.
I think you mentioned that the other day.
I think I did. And in the group chat, all of us were trying to FaceTime Ian because, I mean, we're all Game of Thrones fans, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as we all got into a Discord call, like a multi-call, video call, we all go, grab that motherfucker, kill him, get him, rah, rah. And like we all started yelling on the phone to the point where George was like looking over at him and Ian kept looking up like, oh, he can hear it because he was out to like dinner at this bar with his family. But when he said George R.R. Martin's over there getting drunk with some buddies of his at the corner of the bar, we were like, get him and tell him to finish the fucking book. And we were like screaming it and stuff. And he was like, oh, shut the fuck up. He noticed. And then he hung up. And then he said he went over to talk to him, to like apologize and also talk to him. Yeah. And apparently George was a little drunk and he was like, people ask me that all the time.
Fuck him.
And like shook his hand and like whatever, they had a conversation. Yeah. So it was just like really funny.
That's cool.
And I was making jokes about Reddit because I made a joke in the Discord. I was like, if we wanted to, we could Shia LaBeouf him or something and just tell Reddit, this is where George R.R. Martin is right now.
Oh, yeah.
And like 1,000 people would show up. Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
You can't do that. The internet's too powerful, man.
Yeah, no, you shouldn't do that.
People are... Anyways, we should probably wrap there at 3 hours and 40.
I was going to mention this though.
Oh, what you got?
Last weekend was Thomas's birthday.
Oh, hey.
So
thanks for the mention.
Happy birthday to Thomas.
Kyle.
He didn't get to talk about the stories that he wanted to
talk about. God, you just told me you just reminded me of all the stories I had.
And this whole time I thought he was going to talk about it, but he didn't. So now I'm reminding him as we're closing out.
Damn it!
He wanted to talk about how he had a lovely time with his mother going. And
we shared the same birthday.
They have the exact same birth date, which is fucking wild to me.
She held me in for sure.
Yeah, dog. She
came out like this.
She was like, I'll abandon this fucker once he's born, but I want him to at least have the same birth date. But... she apparently went to Cedar Point with him and they had a great time. I don't know if you want to talk about this now.
We can't.
Okay.
It's so late.
But it's already like super late for us. We got to go to work tomorrow morning. So we're going to call it here. Once again, just as like our normal closing, thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for listening. If you're checking out our YouTube right now, this is going to try to be like the full episode. I don't know if they'll let us post the whole thing, but that's the goal. If we have to like cut it into 2, whatever, we'll fucking do it. Because when you first post a video, sometimes they only let you post like your first video cannot be long.
For sure.
I don't know why, but when I originally tried doing that content on there, they only let me do like 15-minute videos. And then later, I unlocked like 6-hour-long videos, 7-hour-long, 10-hour.
Gotcha. I think I know what you're talking about.
I don't know why they do it that way. Let me go. Again, we're going to be posting this. We're going to have some fun with it. There is going to be some cuts for blooper stuff, so behind the scenes shit that we do and we have fun talking. Because sometimes we just have random conversations without even us recording. So sometimes we'll bring it up and mention that kind of stuff. As well, get back to us, talk to us. The email that we have, what is it? unapologeticvoices1@gmail.com, I believe. You can quote me later. I will.
So that's hooked up to my phone and notifications are on, unfortunately. So we're going to change that.
Why?
As soon as I'm not fucking...
Well, no, like, why is it on your phone? Oh, it's on my phone.
Yeah, you just gave out the domain.
No, what do you mean?
Or you just gave out the email for people to reach and bug us.
No, so that they can talk to us and tell us,
Man, they could comment
on just
like
so
Twitter.
You know, if you have stories that you want to be told or you want to hear a specific thing or a topic that, we might not cover because we don't give a fuck about covering it.
Or if you have something you want us to talk about.
Yeah. just let us know. We're happy to fucking talk about it. Even if it's exclusive content just for specific people, or for, you know, we were planning on doing like side stuff that that's just like we think is like little funny skits that we have that we do. Like Thomas is planning on drawing some stuff. I'm planning on doing some other stuff with a lot of the video work that we're doing. But nonetheless, if you liked any of this information, any of this stuff that we've covered today, leave a like, leave a follow, and stay unapologetic. I am Kyle-Elio Torres, and this is Thomas motherfucking Tyler Tripp. I hate Tyler. But yes, that's it. We're out, guys. Peace.